Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rounds Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are bringing you the final game in the series between the Orix Buffaloes and the Saitama Seibu Lions. Both of these teams are battling out for the top spot in the Pacific League. On the Friday night version of this game, it was the Buffaloes who knocked off the Lions 5-1 behind the Sean Hajoli start. Knocking off Samita yesterday, it was the Lions who rebounded with a 4-1 victory over the Orix Buffaloes, the team from Osaka. It was a battle of the bullpens as Ueda ended up picking up the victory last night in relief for the Lions. Tonight, well, it is going to be Taisuke Yamaoka taking to the mound, and he is going to be making his season debut, facing Alan Winans, who has one start under his belt for the Lions. We're going to give you the starting lineup, first of all, from the visitors from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off tonight and in center field is number 0, Haruto Watanabe. Batting second and doing the designated hitting is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. Batting third and doing the catching is number 4, Tomoya Mori. And the cleanup spot and playing in left field is going to be number 67, Kai Nakagawa. Batting fifth and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Batting in the sixth spot and in right field is number 38, Ryoto Kita. Hitting seventh at first base is number 45, Bob Seymour. Hitting in the eighth spot and doing the duties at shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Batting ninth at second base is number 9, Tomoya Noguchi. And they're going to be facing Alan Winans, who takes to the hill with a 1-0 record. He has one start so far in the NPB, working 6 innings, allowing 5 hits, 2 runs, all of which were earned. Walking 3 and striking out 6, pitching to an ERA of 3.00. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Saitama Seibu Lions, leading off tonight in right field as he was last night, is number 25, Alexander Canario. Batting second at shortstop is number 62, Natsuo Takezawa. Hitting third at third base is number 8, Seiya Watanabe. In the cleanup spot doing the designated hitting is number 26, Tyler Nevin. Batting fifth in left field is number 73, the Taiwanese left fielder Anko Lin. Hitting in the sixth spot and playing first base is number 39, Taiga Hirasawa. Hitting seventh at center field is number 63, Shinya Hasegawa. Batting eighth at second base, wearing number 4 is Kazunori Ishii. Batting ninth and doing the catching is number 22, Yuta Koga. And they're going to be facing Taisuke Yamaoka, who makes his season debut for the Buffaloes. Yamaoka last year was mired in controversy as he was one of the players that had acknowledged and admitted that he was gambling, not necessarily on the sport, but doing online gambling, which is a problem in Japan, as online gambling is illegal. So some of the players had raised their hands and had come forward to acknowledge they were a part of that, and he was one of the main centerpieces of that operation. Well, he gets the start tonight. It'll be Winans versus Yamaoka. When we come back in just a couple of moments, the ceremonial first pitches have been completed. We got baseball for you in just a couple of moments. It is the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. We're glad you guys can make it in with us tonight. And hopefully you guys will stick around for all the action. Welcome back, everybody. Alan Winans is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get the action going underway here in just a couple of moments. He'll be facing the top of the order. It'll be Haruto Watanabe, Ryoma Nishikawa, and Tomoya Mori, the 1-2-3 hitters to come to bat to get things going here. Lions wearing their home whites tonight with the blue trim, traditional Lions colors, and for the Orix Buffaloes, they are wearing their dark tops with the gray pants. I say dark. It almost looks black, but it is navy that they say. It is a very, very dark navy. And so if your eyes are a little bit wonky sometimes, it could look like it is black and gold. But no, navy it is. That's what they say. So Watanabe slated to come to bat as Winans has completed his tune-up tosses. Watanabe batting .280 on the season. He's got 3 homers and 8 RBIs. He is a ultimate table setter. He was in the bottom of the order last night. He does have 9 stolen bases on the year and can run a little bit. One would expect he'll be right up there in the top 5 in stolen bases in the Pacific League if he's able to continue to play on an everyday basis. So here we go. Left-handed hitting, Watanabe at the plate. Winans ready to deliver as he holds to the set and kicks and fires the first pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Defensively tonight for the Lions, from left to right field, Anko Lin is in left, Shinya Hasegawa in center, Alexander Canario in right. As Winans holds to the set again. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Tink back in the house tonight says, what team do you like? You like the Lions? I would probably lean the Lions in this one again, the home team. It is Yamaoka's season debut. It's been a few years. In fact, 2019, Yamaoka won 13 ball games, but that's been 7 years in the rearview mirror. He has struggled with injuries. He's been moved to the bullpen. Has not been the same pitcher they had or what they thought they would have. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2 on Watanabe. So yes, I'm leaning toward the Lions in this one here tonight. This is the getaway game. Tomorrow they have the day off around the league, and then interleague gets going for the next 3 weeks after that. That's where it starts to get entertaining. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Winans holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded, taken on a backhand by the third baseman. Nice play there by the third baseman, Seiya Watanabe, who fires across the diamond. And that's going to retire Haruto Watanabe on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Ryoma Nishikawa. It was a 2-hopper. What's also tough about that play is on the turf at the Balluna Dome, it is cut out dirt around the bases. And so you really have to read the hops. If the ball ends up hitting the dirt, it can stay down, and you got to stay with it. So here comes the first offering to Nishikawa as the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball missing down and in, and the count is 1-0. Tink continuing to pick our brains says, do you think it'll be a high score tonight? I think it'll be similar to the last 2 games. There was, on Friday night, a total of 6 runs scored. Last night, a total of 5. I could see it being in the similar range to that. So not necessarily a high-scoring affair. Here's the 1-0. Winans delivers. That is looks like a split-finger pitch that swung on and missed. We'll get a look at that one again, how it comes out of his hands. Actually, no, it's a changeup. Change piece there as the ball had a lot of downward run to the arm side. 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Nishikawa. Winans again holding to the set, working from the stretch with nobody on. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-1. Curious to see how Winans and both Yamaoka pitched tonight. In Winans' last outing, he threw 99 pitches in those 6 innings. So he is stretched out to be able to go that type of workload. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander again ready to deliver. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is looped into right center field. Racing over is both Canario and the center fielder, Hasegawa. It's going to be Hasegawa who makes the catch, but we almost had a collision. Got to get their communications sorted out at the last moment. Canario had sidestepped him to the right to avoid him. So 2 in the books. That is going to bring up the catcher in Tomoya Mori. Well, for Mori, he's hitting .261 on the year, 4 homers and 16 RBIs. Got the nod as the designated hitter in last night's game, as Kenya Wakatsuki was behind the plate. Mori batting from the left side here, arms extended. Winans holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball on the inside corner, taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Tomoya Mori. Winans, a lanky right-hander, holds up the chest, and now he's ready to deliver again as he kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken for a ball outside. Boy, that pitch looked pretty good. Always kind of interesting when the catcher holds it a little longer and then pauses on the throwback. That's sending a message to the home plate umpire that he missed the call, and I think he would have been right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Winans delivers. Breaking ball down and in. Count 2-1 to Maury. So 2 balls and 1 strike. To the left-handed hitting Tomoya Mori. Right-hander again holding to the set. And now he delivers. Fastball, that misses inside. I'm not sure what it is, and Winans isn't very happy either. So the plate umpire must have said it was up, but that pitch wasn't up. So right away out of the gate, the American right-hander not happy with the home plate umpire, and I can understand why. It'll be a tough night if you have to throw the ball through a pinhole. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep right field. Moving back onto the track is Canario looking up, and it's gone. A home run. And I think if I'm Alan Winans, I'm not very happy because that last pitch would certainly set up the other one. But Tomoya Mori, the former Saitama Seibu Lion, rounds the bases with the first run of the ball game, as he has opened up the scoring here, an early 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes. And if this is any indication of what we're going to have throughout the ball game tonight, buckle up, everybody. It's going to be a long night, as this game here needs to be sponsored by a vision optometrist, because the home plate umpire, a couple of pitches there, absolutely squeezing the starter Winans. I'm not saying it because I'm cheering or fist pumping for the Buffaloes in this one, no stretch of the imagination, or that I'm cheering for the Lions. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. Count is 0-1. I want to see some good baseball. And more importantly, I want to make sure that we're getting the right calls here, or at least a fair shake to the starter. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, as Winans again works and delivers. Fastball misses off the outside corner. Count goes even to 1-1. Makes it tough. Makes it tough when you're going to have to throw the ball to a pigeonhole. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Winans again is working to the set. Takes his breath, and now he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up. It's going to be foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count is 1-2 to Kai Nakagawa. Nakagawa hitting .252 on the year, a couple homers and 17 runs batted in. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Winans. As he settles himself in. Winans does take a lot of time here. Really holds into that set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like when there's runners on base. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say that Nakagawa didn't go around. And 2-2 it is here to the Orix Buffalo right-handed hitting left fielder. So here comes the 2-2 pitch yet again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses in the left-handed batter's box. Count now full to Nakagawa. Winans really working off of the first base side of the rubber. I'm not sure if he moves around a lot or not, or if this is by design. 3 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander again works himself into the set position. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. This ball could be trouble. Back onto the warning track, but with room and making the catch is the center fielder Hasegawa, and that is going to do it. Nakagawa gave it a ride, just not far enough. But that is going to do it here in inning number 1 for the Buffaloes. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit, no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your score as we are through a half inning. It is the Lions 1 and the Buffaloes coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom half of inning number 1 when we return after this on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us. We got lots of action still ahead.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. The Lions are coming to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 1, and they are looking up at a 1-0 deficit on the home run by Tamori Mori to get things going in inning number 1 for the Buffaloes. That was his 5th home run of the season. Well, it'll be Alexander Canario, Natsuo Takezawa, and Seiya Watanabe to come to bat here to face Taisuke Yamaoka, as the right-hander kicks and delivers a first-pitch fastball that is swung on, and this is belted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Back onto the warning track, looking up, and on the first pitch that he sees, Alexander Canario has tied the ball game at 1 apiece. Yamaoka left that fastball way up in the zone. His first pitch of 2026 has left the yard. And we are all knotted up at ones in Tokorozawa. So lots of baseballs flying all over the place here as Canario gets his chain that they put around his neck, and he gets the kitty cat doll as well. So he makes his way back into the dugout. There's celebration. Here comes the first offering to Natsuo Takezawa, and it's a fastball that misses up for a ball. Counts 1-0. Takezawa squared the bunt, but he had pulled back. As the right-hander Yamaoka delivers again, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So if you just joined us, the Lions have just tied the game at 1 with the solo shot by Canario. As the right-hander Yamaoka delivers fastball swung on, grounded over to third off the glove of Mune, fielded by the shortstop Kirbayashi, but there's no play. We're going to have to wait to see what the official scorer has to say. I have a feeling that could be an error on Mune. We'll have to get a look at the replay on that one ourselves. But we have a runner at first with nobody out. It's going to bring Seiya Watanabe to the plate. So lots of action early here in this one. A couple of home runs and now a base hit. So we'll have to wait and see if that was ruled a hit or an error on the third baseman. So Yamaoka delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down to Watanabe, and the count's 1-0. Watanabe hitting .251 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 19 runs driven in. So lots of action so far here tonight in this ball game, and it is still early. As they throw to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. Still haven't announced if it's an error or a hit yet, but we'll have to wait and see. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now even at 1-1 to Watanabe. There is scoring in the game between the Marines and the Eagles. It is 1-0 for the Marines. Their offense is continuing to click, especially after last night having come from behind against Tohoku. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. On its way, fastball misses down and away. Count now goes to 2-1 on Watanabe. For those of you who are interested, the television broadcast for this game tonight is on Fuji TV 2. If you're going to try to hunt down the streaming, you've got to look at DAZN, Rakuten TV, Baseball Live, Fuji TV 2 Smart. And that would be 2 with the spelling of number 2, TWO. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As Yamaoka delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle, past the diving shortstop Kirbayashi, rounding second and heading to third is Takezawa. He's going to slide in safely. And down to second is Watanabe, and he's going to slide in safely as well. So that's some good base running there and aggressive base running by the Lions as they've got runners now at second and third with nobody out. That's going to bring Tyler Nevin to the plate. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound because they're going to have a few words here with their veteran right-hander. So that was pretty impressive. They did rule that as a hit for Takezawa. I'm just a little surprised at that. I would have thought it would have been an error. I'm just waiting on confirmation as to what they ruled that for Watanabe. I believe it's going to be a single and that he advanced to second on the throw. But again, the official scorer is not me. We're going to have to wait for that to get you the update. But they do have runners at second and third. There is nobody out here in the first inning. Tyler Nevin coming to the plate, batting an even .400. He has 7 homers and 15 RBIs in his 60 at-bats. 24 for 60 on the year for Nevin. As the right-hander Yamaoka holds to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Nevin. Nevin swinging the hot stick. This is the guy you want up at the rank time right now. A couple of RBIs in this spot. Waiting for him to drive them home. Nobody gone here in the first inning. Runners at second and third were all locked up at once. And the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. That should be deep enough to get the run in. Moving over underneath it is Watanabe. He's going to make the catch. He's going to throw it in the direction of third base. Both runners are going to tag up. That's going to be a sacrifice fly to center field. Nevin's going to get himself an RBI. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Over to third is Watanabe, and into scoring is Takezawa, and that is going to give the Lions a 2-1 lead here at the bottom of the first inning, and it's going to bring up the left fielder in Anko Lin. So Anko Lin coming to the dish. Batting .205 on the year, a couple of homers and 10 RBIs. Lin was one of the more dangerous hitters in the Chinese league last year. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Yamaoka. Pitch on the way. And there is a fastball that misses up. I don't think Tomoya Mori necessarily agreed with that. So it's not just Alan Winans getting squeezed by the home plate umpire. Tomoya Mori thinks his guy is getting squeezed a bit too. The right side of the infield is back. The left side of the infield is in. If it's a ground ball to the left side, you can expect them to come home with it. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count goes now to 2-0 on Lin. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Yamaoka ready to deliver. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. That goes to 3-0. 13 pitches so far delivered by the Buffalo right-hander, and there is action already in the bullpen for the Buffaloes. At first glance, it looks like it is Soichiro Yamazaki. I'm going to have to do a double take on that one. That is Soichiro Yamazaki, and that is exactly who it is. And there's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Lin's aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners at the corners with one gone, and it's going to bring the first baseman Taiga Hirasawa to the plate. Well, for Hirasawa, he's hitting .316 in the early going here this year. He's got a couple homers and 11 RBIs. Gets the start at first base yet again. So Hirasawa stepping to the plate, batting from the left side. As Tomoya Mori steps out and flashes the signs for first and third. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, we didn't go through that as the game had opened up with a bang here in the bottom of the first. Nakagawa is in left, Watanabe in center, and the right fielder is Kita. As the right-hander Yamaoka kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul on the first base side. Count is 0-1. Around the horn from first to third, Bob Seymour's at first, Noguchi is at second, the shortstop's Kobayashi with Mune at third. The battery to start the game, well, it is Yamaoka and Mori. So here comes the offering to the left-handed hitting Hirasawa. No balls and one strike. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses outside. It's now 1 ball and a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is as the right-hander works to the set again. He has thrown 16 pitches, and 7 of them have been for balls. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2. Falling behind in the count. And I have to say one thing about Yamaoka is he's missing a lot of pitches up in the zone. Especially that first pitch to Canario that was up in the zone. His eyes lit up like Roman candles as he drilled his 3rd homer of the year into the left field seats. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Hirasawa. And Yamaoka working himself into the set position. Diminutive right-hander. He's not a big fella, but he can throw hard. Again, working to the set. 2-2 coming. Mori really sets up inside. Pitch on the way. Fastball hammered foul into the netting down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2 to Hirasawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the right-hander ready to go again. He gets a new baseball, rubs it up. Getting the signs from Tomoya Mori as he works himself to the belt. Chucks the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Coming in and making the catch is Nakagawa. Oh, I don't know what they're doing. Watanabe had went back to tag. Has to be one of the... Oh, my goodness. The throw was a good thing in the direction of home plate, but it was between the shortstop and the third baseman, and the shortstop, Kobayashi, had to race over to have to cut it off. Went off his glove, ended up toward Yumamune, but boy, oh boy, that was certainly a really ugly-looking play there. And unfortunately, the Lions, for them, they couldn't capitalize on it, so it's just going to be a fly ball to left field for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder in Shinya Hasegawa. And I got to tell you, I think that is the end of the night for Taisuke Yamaoka. The manager is coming out to the mound. He has seen enough. And so Yamaoka, unable to get through the first inning, he gets a pat on the back. His night is going to be done. We're going to have a pitching change here in inning number 1. It'll be Soichiro Yamazaki who is going to come on in relief. We'll be back to give you that update when we return right after this musical timeout. Stay with us, everybody. An early pitching change here in inning number 1.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Rolly Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. Every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. That was a pretty short season debut for Taisuke Yamaoka as his night is over. They are going to the bullpen early. It's going to be Soichiro Yamazaki who is coming in relief. The big right-hander here, making his 19th appearance of the year. He's got a ERA up at 4.24. So he is going to have to come in and pick up some innings here for the Buffaloes. He is slated to face Shinya Hasegawa. Hasegawa hitting at 268 on the year, leading the Lions with 6 home runs to this point. Actually, that's not correct. Tyler Nevin's leading them. He is second with 6. And he has 15 runs batted in. So they have runners at the corners. There is a 2 gone here as Yamazaki on in relief. I don't know if Taisuke Yamaoka was going to be long for the game regardless, but he certainly was not effective in his 20-plus pitches of work. So this brings to the plate Hasegawa as he taps both sides of the plate. The right-hander leaning in, getting the sign, and we're ready to go back to the action. As he works himself into the set position, here comes the first offering from the right-hander. It's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count quickly 0-1 to Shinya Hasegawa. Lions answer right back with 2 runs of their own here in the bottom half of the first after the Tomoya Mori blast in the top of the inning. So no balls and 1 strike. Yamazaki getting the sign from Mori, working himself to the belt. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Hasegawa taps both sides of the plate as he waggles the bat, waiting on the pitch from Yamazaki. Here comes the 1-1 on its way. Changeup taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Hasegawa. Often wonder sometimes in these games where you get a lot of scoring in the first inning, just how the games really start to settle down. I'll have to see if it is going to be the same here tonight in this one. Over in Tohoku, the Golden Eagles have a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first against the Marines, so they are following the pattern of this one. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first base line, and the count 1-2 to Hasegawa. We'll keep our eyes peeled on all the comings and goings around the NPB. Her first pitch is ready to take place between the Dragons and the Carp. All the other games get going in a half hour's time. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and hammered foul just past the third base coach's box. Count remains at 1-2 to Hasegawa. We are looking ahead to what we're going to be doing during the week. We're leaning toward the game between As the Bay Stars and the Buffaloes, that would be a Tuesday affair, would go off at 1:45 Pacific or 4:45 Eastern as interleague play gets going on Tuesday. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Right-hander holds set, now delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shinya Hasegawa. And the right-hander Yamazaki now taking the time to tie his shoes. Probably catching a breath here, more importantly than anything else. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. 2 gone here in the inning. Runners at the corners. Runner at third is Watanabe. Runner at first is Anko Lin. As Yamazaki leans in, getting the sign from Mori, working himself to the set. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and another one lifted foul, this time well into the seats over on the third base side. Count remains at 1-2 to Hasegawa. And by our counts, it's already 7 pitches in this at-bat. This will be pitch number 8 to come to the center fielder of the Lions. As Hasegawa waggling the bat, waiting on the pitch here from the right-hander. Yamazaki delivers. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Hasegawa down on strikes after quite the battle. That will do it here. But the Lions get themselves a pair of runs in the inning. There was 2 runs on 3 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we are now through 1 complete. It is the Lions 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yuma Mune, Ryuto Kita, and Bob Seymour to come to bat here in the second inning. We are going to be back in just a couple after this. Lots of fireworks in this one. 2-1 after 1. Lots more baseball to be played, and we'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Mune, Kita, and Seymour to come to bat to face Winans here in this one. Just a little bit about Winans. He was originally a 17th round pick of the New York Mets back in 2018. The 30-year-old right-hander then made his way to the Atlanta Braves as he was taken in the minor league phase of the Rule 5 draft. And he did make his big league debut with the Braves in 2023, also spent some time with them in 2024. First pitch to Yuma Mune, breaking ball misses down and in, and the count's 1-0. And he finished off his big league tour with the New York Yankees as he was claimed off waivers. And then they had his contract. He made 3 appearances for the Yankees. He struggled with an 0-1 record, pitching to an 8.68 ERA. Yankees released Winans in order to pursue the opportunity in Japan this year. That was in December of last year, as he signed with the Saitama Seibu Lions. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count is now 2-0. In the offseason, Winans was a substitute teacher at Bakersfield High School. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. Obviously, when his promotion to the majors, he was, before his promotion, obviously, wanted to be able to pick up some extra money. It's not easy to get your way to the big leagues. You say the hardest thing to do is to get to the big leagues. The second hardest thing to do is to stay there. There's a breaking ball missing outside. The count is 3-1. And when you think of a pitcher like Winans getting an opportunity to pitch in Japan, he's getting himself a payday here. This could set him, his wife, his family up for the rest of their lives. And if he's decent, he can make a couple of years out of it and really do a good job of providing for his family. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball catches the outside corner for called strike, and the count now goes full to 3-2 on Mune. And I have to say, I do like that when you get guys that are, I called them 4A players last night. Too good for AAA, not good enough to stick in the big leagues. They can go over to Japan and carve out a niche and get themselves 2, 3, 4, or, in the case of Neftali Soto or other players like that, Brandon Laird in recent years, you get yourself a big career. There's a changeup swung on and missed. Mune is in the books for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the right fielder in Ryoto Kita. So you get an opportunity to provide for your family, set yourselves up. You don't have to worry about scratching and clawing in your life. You've got yourself a good nest egg to begin with, and then you can carry on from there. Baseball is a chapter, sometimes a big chapter in people's lives. Sometimes it's a smaller chapter, but if you can make a little bit of money being decent, take you for a ride. A good ride it could be. First pitch to Kita was a changeup to miss down and in. The count's 1-0 to Kita. Kita hitting .250, no homers, and 6 runs driven in. As the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Funny, I was talking to somebody recently, and we were saying about there was a young player I saw that was pitching in the Mariners organization. There's the 1-1 pitch coming to left-handed batter. And there is a breaking ball swung on his, tapped softly foul just past the bag at first base. Count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kita. Anyways, I was saying about this Mariner player, I hadn't seen him pitch really since he was a kid. And he's had some arm surgeries and so on and so forth. Doesn't have the heat that he used to have on the fastball. Lost a little bit. I figured if he's going to make a deeper run in his pro career, as there was a breaking ball that misses down and in, almost hit Kita, or did it? Look at this one again. It was a breaking ball down. Oh, I don't know. Nope, didn't get him. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. You get a chance to play. You get a chance to have some fun. The rest of your life you can work away. But unfortunately for the player, just not the same. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Ishii. He throws to first, and Kita's retired on a ground out 4-3. Gone for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the first baseman and Bob Seymour. Well, for Seymour, he's hitting 175 on the year, 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. But here's an example right now. He's getting an opportunity, but he's got to get it going. Our friend at God is Great in the house. He says, hello from the land of the rising sun. Welcome. Seymour only hitting 175, 3 homers and 15 runs driven in. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. And our friend Big Ray in the house. Big Ray says, which Mariner player? It's actually one of their minor leaguers. There's a breaking ball missing outside. The fellow's named Adam Mayer. He was originally drafted by the Braves. He was a late round pick in the 20 rounds of the draft, but they threw over $1 million at him. Anytime anybody outside the top 10 rounds gets $1 million thrown their way, they think highly of the pitcher. Had an arm surgery, and he was taken off as a minor league free agent, signed by the Mariners this offseason. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. You can see that he knows how to pitch. I've seen him pitch twice now, but he's down in his velocity from where he was pre-surgery. He's getting the opportunity to play, and he's getting an opportunity to pitch, and obviously that's a good thing for him. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to first. Fielded neatly by the first baseman, Hirasawa. He steps on the base, and that is going to do it as the Buffaloes go quietly here in their half of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the second. Your score is the Alliance 2, the Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We got a big race sighting in here tonight. Glad to have you with us. And, of course, God is great. Also glad to have Titus with us as well. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout. We got a 2-1 scoreline. Lions ahead of the Buffaloes as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this. And our friend Steve having a beer.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom of the second inning, and Soichiro Yamazaki has delivered a first pitch fastball. Catches the outside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Kaz Ishii. Kazunori Ishii batting .227 on the year, a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. As there is a fastball swung on, it is lifted into left field, moving over toward the right or the left field foul line, and making the catch in front of the warning track is Kaida Nakagawa. And Ishii is gone for the first out here at inning number 2, and that'll bring up the catcher in Yuta Koga. Our friend Big Ray says, glad to be here, about to go to bed. Got a little race to go to in the morning. I'm not sure what race you're going to be going to, but obviously there is some really sad news this week, obviously, out of NASCAR with the sudden passing of Kyle Busch. Whew. Saw today that he had pneumonia. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. And whatever the infection was, it just spiraled in a hurry. So no balls, 1 strike to Yuta Koga as he swung through that one. Really, really disappointing. 41 years old, and it just goes to show you how life can hang on a thread. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2 on Koga. It was just, I think, a week ago he was doing a presser, and I think it wasn't all that long ago he'd won a NASCAR race. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. As it's on its way, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend the Chave says fatal pneumonia. Yeah, well, you think of Ricky Henderson prior to before Christmas. He had pneumonia and passed away. I have a young fellow who's in my program. His father just turned 63 years old, and he has pneumonia right now. There's a breaking ball down. Count goes to 2-2, and he's supposed to be going on a 6-month road show because he's involved in the music industry next month, and he's not feeling very well. Big Ray says he lives in Indy. Yeah, it's a very sad day about Cal Busch. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted down the right field line. It's going to slice in over to pick it up and fire it back in as Ryota Kita, and Yuta Koga is aboard with a 1-out single. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Alexander Canario. We also want to welcome the Chave into the stream tonight. Glad to have you back again, back-to-back nights. As we mentioned, I'm going to try to do some of the interleague stuff in the middle of the night this week. I always enjoy the interleague play. It's over the next 3 weeks. Looking to do Buffaloes and Bay Stars to get things going. 1:45 Pacific or 4:45 Eastern if you're up in the morning. First pitch, fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Canario. Canario 1 for 1 tonight, hit the home run his first time up. Jupiter Knight says, greetings from the Hawks Dome here in Fukuoka. How's everybody doing? Great to have you with us. I wish we could be there with you in Fukuoka. Of course, the game between the Fighters and the Hawks. I think if I read correctly, it's, 8 games in a row that the Hawks have beaten the Fighters. You got their number, that is for certain. Chave says it's the Bay Stars. Happy to stay awake for that. Yeah, I'm going to try to do 3 in a row. We'll have to confirm that next couple of days. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Canario. So Alexander Canario with the big blast to lead off the game is in the hole here at 0-2. I have to say, I really affectionately like this stadium. I think it's an engineering marvel to put that dome on top of the existing stadium. It's not, it's an open air dome. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Canario is down on strikes. He's out for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to Netsuo Takazawa. Big Ray says, yeah, little race, yeah, the Indy 500. Yeah, I have to admit, I used to watch the Indy 500 when I was a kid. I used to really enjoy it. And then they went from, they went all over the place. They went from, the different styles of racing. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. The days of Mario Andretti or all these others that used to race, had a hard time keeping up with it and really don't pay much attention to it these days. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. I have been to the Brickyard, and it's a very impressive site. They've got, I think, Big Ray can correct me on this, but I think there's 3 holes of a golf course that are in the infield, maybe more. It's absolutely huge. And watching it on TV really doesn't do it justice until you actually go there in person and understand the magnitude and size of the facility itself. Breaking ball misses upstairs, now 2-1 to Takazawa. Our friend the Jupiter Knight said the Hawks just retired Sadahara O's number 89. Yeah, I heard they were going to do that. Sadahara O isn't getting any younger, that's for certain. Nice to see that they're paying homage to him. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped softly into right field. Over to second is Koga, and he's going to slam on the brakes. Base hit there from Takazawa. It's his second of the ball game. Koga is stopping at second, and it's going to bring Seiya Watanabe to the dish. Sadahara O, legend of the game. If I'm not mistaken, I believe O is Taiwanese, or was born in Taiwan, raised in Japan. I'd have to go back and do a double take on that, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. But he's got some Taiwanese roots in his blood for sure. He's 86 years old, is O. Fastball swung on, chopped up the middle. Fielded on the backhand by Noguchi. He's going to step on the bag. That is going to erase Takezawa. He's gone on a fielder's choice to 4 for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the second inning for the Lions. Well, no runs in the inning. They did get a couple of hits. No errors and 2 left aboard. We're now through 2 complete innings. Your score is the Lions with a 2-1 lead over the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. The chat is hopping tonight. We are glad that you guys are with us here for this one on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes in inning number 3. That means Kitaro Kobayashi, Tomoya Noguchi, and the top of the order, Haruto Watanabe. Our friend the Jupiter Knights said they gave away jerseys with his number on it. Everyone is wearing it except for the Fighter faithful. Oh, those Fighter fans being a bunch of party poopers. That's the way it is. No, you know what? They probably got them and they put them in their briefcases or their packs to take them home with them. They'll celebrate Sadahara O elsewhere. Big Ray says it's his 48th race that he's attending. Check that, his 38th, not his 48th. He is getting old, though. And it's actually 4 holes of the track. Great course, but it is very expensive now. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Imagine what a round of golf would cost you. So here comes the first offering from Winans. 34 pitches through 2 innings. Breaking ball misses down and away to Kobayashi, count 1-0. Kobayashi hitting .231 on the year, 4 homers and 11 runs driven in. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Winans. As he comes to the set, now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. I think Kobayashi turned away on it, thought it was going to come in and hit him, but wasn't even close. Tink wants to know what other teams that we like tonight. I'll see what I can do for you there. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count now goes to 2 balls and a strike on Kobayashi. I'll give you the ones at the top of the order. I would say probably I'd lean toward the Tigers with Saiki versus Takamura. That would be my selection. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into deep left field. Falling down is the center fielder Hasegawa, and it takes a wild and crazy hop and gets away, and digging hard for second is Kobayashi, and he's going to slide in safely. So Anko Lin, the ball hit the ground and took a really weird turn, and he had to be able to have to get a lot of English on the ball. He ends up getting it, fires it back into the infield. Hasegawa fell down in center field as he was making his way there. We'll get a look at the replay again. Really, really strange. Hasegawa hit the dirt pretty quick. Ball ends up hitting the ground and almost goes by Anko Lin. Kobayashi stands in at second base with a double. It's going to be one of the easiest doubles he's hit in his career, and that's going to bring up Tomoya Noguchi. Good read by him. But I have to say, if I had to guess tonight, my guess would be I think the Fighters are going to snap that losing streak. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in to Noguchi. He had squared the bunt, but he pulls back for ball 1. Noguchi 10 for 50 on the year. Homer and 9 runs batted in. think Ray's got a fun fact for us. He says if Bobby Rahal did not succeed in racing, he would have been on the PGA Tour. Yeah, it's amazing sometimes. You got guys that just have that ability. Pitch on the way, fastball taken at the knees for called strike. It counts 1-1. I used to play high school basketball with a guy. Ended up at American International at down in, I believe that's in Massachusetts. Anyways, he was about 6'5", and we would go golf sometimes, and it was just effortless watching him golf. He was a scratch golfer. He'd show up, hardly would practice, and he would be up there shooting, 5 or 6 over par. It's unbelievable skill. Meanwhile, I'm playing bogey golf. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count goes to 2-1. I'd be happy with bogey golf today in my life. I don't think that's anywhere in the future. I used to always say if I could be around at 90, I was happy with that. Now I want to break 100. Just don't have the power in the game anymore and have to change the style of how you play. And if you don't practice, you're not going to get good. And I can tell you, I don't practice, and I'm not good. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Tomoya Noguchi. As the right-hander holds himself into the set position, here comes the 2-1. Checks the runner at second base. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 2-2. I'm excited for interleague play. I really look forward to this time of the year that coming up on Tuesday. For the 3 weeks they get to play each other. I think Major League Baseball lost something now that they play everybody. They might as well get rid of the American and National League and have one big standing. Because everybody's playing each other and they have almost not quite a balanced schedule, but everybody gets to play each other at least a few times. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and that is going to put Noguchi in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's the second strikeout recorded by Winans here tonight. Bring up the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe. But yeah, it's amazing sometimes when you see guys that their athletic ability is just unreal. So Watanabe steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to third his first time up. Averages dipped to 277. He's got the 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. The speedy center fielder batting from the left side as the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike. Well, I can't believe Winans got the call there because that pitch a couple innings ago to Tomoya Mori, certainly he didn't get the call, and the next pitch was deposited into the seats. I think if I'm Watanabe, I'm not very happy. Probably not very happy if you're Winans because that was pretty much the same location. Slightly more than belt high. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way, fastball down, squirts away from the catcher Yutakoga, but unable to advance is Kirby-Ashi. It runs the count even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Winans ready to go back to work again. 1 hour deep, and we are in the top half of the third inning. So much like last night, it was 2 hours to get through 5. And then the back 4 innings actually really sped along. That game was done in just over 3 hours. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Watanabe. Other games around the NPB tonight. As there is action all over the place. It is Chinichi with a 3-0 lead over the Carp. Tohoku in the bottom of the second inning has an 8-1 lead over the Chibalote Marines. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball that misses down and in. It's now 3-1 to Watanabe. But I got to tell you, that lead may not be safe. For last night, I think it was a 6-2 lead for the Golden Eagles into the back end of the ball game, and they coughed it up. So I think if I'm the Eagles, I want to keep pouring it on, more runs. No lead is safe. Winans already at 47 pitches here in inning number 3. Generally, the rule of thumb I look for is 15 per inning, and he is now exceeding that. Now he steps off the backside of the rubber. He's going to do a tour of the mound before he gets himself reset. So here we go back to the live action. 3 balls and 1 strike to Watanabe. Kirby-Ashi, the runner at second. As he checks the runner at second, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Watanabe aboard with a walk, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Ryoma Nishikawa. All right, Big Ray. Well, that was a pleasure having you stop in tonight. We appreciate that. And thank you for stopping by to say hello. We will look forward to seeing you in the future, as hopefully we'll catch you during the next call, if that will be on Tuesday on the late night, or maybe on the weekend as well. But once again, we really appreciate you for taking the time to stop in here with us. Always the pleasure. So that's going to bring to the plate Ryoma Nishikawa. Nishikawa tonight is 0 for 1. He has flown to center, his only trip to the plate. Batting .276 on the year with the homer and 16 runs batted in. Buffalo's got runners at first and second. There is 1 gone here in the inning. Winans holding to the set. Pitch is on the way. It is a changeup that drops in for a called strike. That's got to be a bread and butter pitch for Winans. He's got a lot of arm side movement and depth on that pitch. It looks like it's a fastball coming out of his hands because he does grip it across the 4 seams. But the ball just flutters up to the plate. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. And now the count goes to 0-2. So Nishikawa not seeing anything hard here on the first couple of pitches that bat. And he's in behind the count at 0-2. Winans has had good command with his changeup today. He's now at the 50 pitch mark. It's the fastball that the Japanese hitters have been turning around on him. Here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped softly over to short. They go to second for 1. Oh, barely got Watanabe over there. I think if I'm the Buffaloes, I might want to have a peek at this one. Boy, he got down there in a hurry. I'd like to see that again on the replay. Maybe not. So Watanabe going to be gone on a fielder's choice. It'll be 6-4. I'm going to look at this again. No, maybe not. We're just going to be able to get other highlights of the home run delivered by Mori. So that puts runners at the corners. Kirby-Ashi at third, Nishikawa at first, and Mori coming to the plate. He's already homered here tonight. He's accounted for the only Buffalo run. He's got 5 homers and 17 runs batted in on the year. Mori digs himself in, stands very deep in the batter's box, batting from the left side here against Winans. Very aggressive hitter. He does like to swing a lot at the first pitches. I think if I'm Winans, I'm delivering him a change piece. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mori. Mori taps both sides of the plate. Waiting here on the offering from the right-hander. As he kicks in and delivers, there's a changeup that catches the inside corner. Count now goes even at 1-1 to Mori. So 1 strike it is. As Winans throws over to first base, and getting back easily is the runner. So 1 strike. Again, Winans working himself into the set position. Here comes the offering. Be an action pitch here. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses outside. It's now 2-1 to Mori. Kaita Nakagawa waiting his turn on deck. So 2 strike now to Tomoya Mori, the catcher of the Buffaloes. Again, Winans working to the set position. Ready to deliver. Here comes the pitch. That is a changeup swung on and missed. Count now even at 2-2 to Mori. So 2 strikes. And one thing I don't like about Winans is just how slowly he works. He is very, 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 very slow. 2 strikes as the right-hander again works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, take it for a called third strike. Mori knew it. He just did a 180 and started walking back to the dugout. He's gone on strikes for out number 3, and that's going to be a wasted opportunity here for the Buffaloes in their half of the third. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now skip to the bottom of the third, it is the Lions with a 2-1 lead over the Buffaloes. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Soichiro Yamazaki who is on in relief, ready to face the heart of the order for the Lions. That means Tyler Nevern, Anko Lin, and Taiga Hirasawa come to bat here in inning number 3. As we are ready to resume the action for Tyler Nevin, he is doesn't have an official at bat tonight. Had a sacrifice fly and drove home a run his first time up. This is his second time he's come to the plate tonight as Yamazaki kicks and delivers a fastball that misses at 94 miles an hour way upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Nevin. Nevin off to a great start this year. He's batting an even 400. 24 for 60 at the plate with those 7 homers and 15 RBIs. He takes a breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lions fans are in good form. Not a lot of Buffalo fans on this trip. There are fans, but just not enough. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1 on Tyler Nevin. Nevin is in good form. He has been swinging a hot stick lately. and has continued here. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Yamazaki kicks and fires. Fastball swung through and missed. Count now even to 2-2 on Nevin. So I'm a bit mixed on Nevin if he gets an opportunity to come back to Major League Baseball or not. Obviously, the son of Phil Nevin, we talked about it a little bit last night. Much like Brandon Laird of recent years, he could really carve a niche out, stay in Japan. There's a fastball missing up and away. Guaranteed money. I think, like most competitors, if you got an opportunity to play in Major League Baseball, that's where everybody wants to play. Playing there and staying there are two different animals. But he could carve his niche out in with the Lions and get himself maybe a 2 or a 3 year deal. He's young enough to be able to stay for quite a few years. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count remains full. Think about some of the players over the years that end up carving out a lengthy career. As we said, Brandon Laird's one. Neftali Soto's another one. Quite a few years with the Bay Stars and last couple of seasons, including this one with the Chibalote Marines. Get a chance to stay and play in Japan and make a little bit of money. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as Yamazaki kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, its lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line, and the count remains full to Nevin. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. I like Soichiro Yamazaki. I don't know if he's really reached his full potential. Big, lanky right-hander. He can run it up there. Seen him bring it up into the upper 90s. Breaking ball swung on and hammered foul into the netting down the left field line. Count remains full to Nevin. This is turning into a classic at bat. That's the 8th pitch already seen by Nevin in this at bat. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. And the right-hander works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, another one swung on and another one fouled away. The battle continues. It'll be a 10-pitch at bat here for Tyler Nevin. So Yamazaki gets a new baseball. We're ready to go again. Here comes the 3-2. Something's got to give. Pitch on the way. Fastball spiked up to the plate, and Nevin is going to make his way down to first base. He wins the battle. As that is going to be ball 4. 10-pitch at bat for Tyler Nevin. And he is aboard with a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up Anko Lin to the plate. Well, for Anko Lin, he has walked his first time up, batting .205 on the year, a couple homers and 10 RBIs. As we said, the Taiwanese left-handed hitting outfielder. I like his presence at the plate. I like everything. Is he going to be able to make the adjustment long-term to the Japanese league? Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses inside. Count is 1-0. I mean, hitting Japanese pitching is not like hitting Taiwanese pitching. The Taiwanese league, there are a lot of runs scored in that league, much like the Korean league. Just not enough good arms. The bats are better than the pitching. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats on the third base side. Now, the Japanese league is a whole different animal. Pitching in the Japanese league is pretty darn good when you're comparing it to the other Asian leagues. Yeah, it's not a knock on those other leagues. It's just the reality of it. You got some power arms that are pouring in on you. Japanese pitching is certainly pretty good. It's amazing how the game has evolved. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count 1-2 to Anko Lin. Lin waggling the bats. Here comes the 1-2. As Yamazaki delivers, breaking ball swung on, hammered foul just down the right field line. Oh boy, having to get back to first base was Nevin. And it almost looked like the first baseman was going to have a chance to catch it and possibly double him off. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hanko Lin. It remains. Big left-handed stick and left-handed hitting outfielder of the Lions waiting on the offering here. Pitch on the way. That is a split figure pitch, swung on and missed, and Lin is down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the first baseman in Taiga Hirasawa. Well, for Hirasawa, he is 0 for 1 tonight. Flown out to left field in his only trip to the plate. Hirasawa batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Yamazaki. Delivers a breaking ball. Let's take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again working to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses outside. Count runs even at 1-1 to Hirasawa. Right-hander again working himself back into the set position. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 1-2 on Hirasawa. Crowd is making their presence felt. A lot of people. It's interesting. They got the gold chains, these big chains around the necks of the supporters. They give out the home run. They have this big gold chain on something on it, almost like a clock, like Flavor Flav. As that fastball is swung on and lifted into the seats over on the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kind of get a chuckle out of that. But all the fans are donning it. I shouldn't say all the fans. A lot of the supporters are donning the gold chain. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hirasawa. The runner at first is Nevin. 1 gone here in the last half of the 3rd inning. 2-1, the Lions enjoying the lead here. As the right-hander Yamazaki getting his sign from his catcher, he works himself into the set. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This is lifted down the left field foul line. Giving chase is Mune, but it's going to get over the netting and into the seats, and the count remains at 1-2 to Hirasawa. So Hirasawa gets back into the batter's box. We're ready to do it all over again. We were talking last night about how slow the game was. We're not even through 3 innings here tonight, and we're going to be at 1 hour and 20. I always say the rule of thumb is about 90 minutes for 5 innings. We're going to be back to the 2-hour mark. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Hirasawa's in the books for the 2nd out of the inning. By our counts, that is the 4th strikeout recorded by Yamazaki since entering the ballgame. That is going to bring up Shinya Hasegawa to the plate. Well, for Hasegawa, he is 0 for 1. He struck out against Yamazaki back in the 1st inning. Yamazaki came on in relief of Taisuke Yamaoka, who faced 6 batters, only able to get through 2/3 of an inning. They brought in the big, hard-throwing right-hander to follow Yamaoka. Here's the pitch. Pitch is down in the dirt. A good stop there by Moore. He keeps it in front as he chases up the first baseline. So 1 ball and no strikes it is to Hasegawa. We have been keeping everybody updated on scores from around the NPB. Still 3-0 for the Dragons over the Carp. The other games in the Central League have no score. Pacific League, it is the Fighters with a 4-0 lead over the Hawks. There's a split-figure pitch missing down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say Hasegawa didn't go. And the Eagles are pounding the Marines 8-1 in the bottom of the third inning. That game is going on at the Park Miyagi in Tohoku. Get you caught up on all the out-of-town scores. One of our friends earlier who was asking us, who do you think was going to win the Fighters and the Hawks? Fastball swung on, popped up behind home plate, giving chase is Maury. He leaps, but he's not going to be able to get it as the ball bounces off of the fence. It's going to be 2-1 here to Hasegawa. Anytime I see where there is a special ceremony before the game for the home team, just seems to disrupt their rhythm. And obviously our friend Jupiter, who was in here early on, said that Sadahara O was given a retirement jersey ceremony by the Hawks here tonight. And the problem with O is that he's getting his ceremonial retirement jersey, but it just seems to always throw off the home team when they have those recognitions. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field, but not deep enough. Coming in on it is Nakagawa. He's there to make the catch, and Hasegawa's gone for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here in inning number 3. Well, the Lions get a leadoff walk to Nevin, and that is it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left the board. We have now got 3 in the books. Your score is the Lions 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Appreciate you for being with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Kaida Nakagawa, Yuma Mune, and Ryota Kita, the heart of the order, to come to bat for the Buffaloes here in inning number 4, as Alan Winans has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are about ready to resume the action. 56 pitches for the American right-hander in his 3 innings of work. His only blemish has been the home run off the bat of Tomoya Mori back in inning number 1 that had given them the early 1-0 lead. So Nakagawa, Mune, and Kita to come to bat here, facing the right-hander here in inning number 4. As I said, one of the things is I'll have to make a mental note of this. I remember there was a pitcher years ago for the New York Mets. His name was Steve Traxel. Also pitched with Baltimore and a bunch of other teams, and he was like a human rain delay on the mound. Game was just so slow. I think he was a Cub as well. Breaking ball misses inside. Count is 1-0 to Nakagawa. Sometimes I have my stopwatch, and I like to find out exactly how fast the pitchers are doing their stuff. I pulled my stopwatch out here for Alan Winans, it would probably have to get a sundial because he is so slow when he comes to the set. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. I know in the Japanese league they say that there's a 3-second hold count when you come to the stretch position, but that's with runners on base. So if Winans had a few more runners on base, I wonder how much longer he would be. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at third base, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Kaida Nakagawa. So 1 ball, 2 strikes it is. We'll try to put up our schedule here in the next day or so for what we're going to do during the week. Said hopefully you guys can join us for that. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. They're going to appeal over to the third or the first base umpire. They say that Nakagawa didn't go. The pitch looked pretty good. They didn't get the call. Well, maybe not as good as they thought it was. He did sit up outside, was Yuta Koga. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakagawa, although I'd have to say Nakagawa looked like he may have gone around. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball missing way outside. It's now 3-2 to Nakagawa. So I guess the other thing, if you're a fan of the Lions, you can't be very happy because you're not getting a lot of home cooking in this game. Alan Wynn's the home pitcher. As we said, looked like he was getting squeezed there in the first inning. He's only allowed 2 hits so far in this one. It was the home run off the bat of Mori and the double off the bat of Kirby-Ashi. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. It's cued off the end of the bat, and it's going to squibble foul down the first baseline. Count remains full to Nakagawa. So a game here tonight, closely contested, as I said before. I think if the Lions end up winning this game tonight, and you look at the standings as they currently are, they would take the lead in the Pacific League. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count remains full to Nakagawa. Orix Buffaloes currently have a half-game lead over the Lions. They do have 2 games in hand. They've only played 45 thus far, as the Lions have played 47. The Hawks, with their win last night, have slipped back into third place, pushing the Fighters out of the playoff position. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Canario moving back. He's in front of the track. He makes the catch. That's going to retire Kaida Nakagawa for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Yuma Mune. So for Yuma Mune, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only time up against Winans. Winans has 3 strikeouts in his 3 1/3 innings. So running at a just shy of a 1 per inning pace at the moment. Mune with the 5 homers and 16 RBIs. 5 homers in the lineup. Leads the Buffaloes in today's lineup. There's a pitch that misses inside. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander holds to the set position, and now here comes the offering. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike to Mune. And the right-hander back to work. Gets himself set on the mound here. Here comes the 1-1. As the right-hander kicks and fires, it is a changeup that misses down. 2-1 now to Mune. As we said, there's the magic part of the hour. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and we are 90 minutes deep. I'll tell you where this game is headed. We're probably looking at a 4-hour ball game here tonight. So if you come on back in an hour and a half, we'll probably still be in the 7th inning. Here's the 2-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Kazunori Ishii. Throwing to first. Mune is gone on a ground out 4-3. He's out for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the right fielder in Ryoto Kida. Well, for Kita, he is officially 0 for 1. He is grounded out in his only trip to the plate, as he steps in here to face Winans for the second time tonight. Right-hander holds the set position. Here comes the first offering on its way. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kita. Kita hitting .245 on the year, 12 for 49, no homers and 6 runs driven in. Gets himself set in the box here. As the right-hander again works himself to the set. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Now the count goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. That's another thing tonight. We've not had, and I don't want to jinx it, we've only had tonight, I shouldn't say we haven't had, only 1-2-3 inning. That was in the second inning when the Buffaloes were retired in order. Lions have not been retired in order yet tonight. Winans has a chance to do it again. Here's the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped softly over to short. Fielded neatly by the shortstop. Oh, they had to hurry. Takazawa guns it across the infield as they're going to get the speedy Kita. He's gone on a ground out 6-3 for out number 3, and that'll do it here in the 4th inning for the Buffs. And it looks like Soichiro Yamazaki's night will be done. We're going to have a pitching change when we come back. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Bottom of the 4th is just around the corner. Your score is the Saitama Seibu Lions 2 and the Orix Buffaloes 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit after this musical timeout. Stay with us. Your score is the Lions 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change. It is going to be number 68, Kaito Iriyama, on in relief, as he will be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Buffaloes, as Soichiro Yamazaki came in and did his job in over 2 1/3 innings of work versus the Lions. He leaves the game with 4 strikeouts. He had allowed a couple of hits and 1 walk, but Soichiro Yamazaki getting a lot of high fives in the dugout after his performance tonight. So Kaito Iriyama on in relief, as he is slated to face Ishii, Koga, and the top of the order in Canario. And the first pitch he delivers is ripped into deep right field. And moving over right center field, moving over is the center fielder, Watanabe, who's going to make the catch on the run. And Ishii is gone for the first out here in inning number 4. And that'll bring up the catcher in Yuta Koga. As Koga strides to the plate, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled in his only trip, having himself a nice offensive year. He's 19 for 60. He's batting .317 with a homer and 7 RBIs. I don't want to say it's unexpected output from Koga, but maybe a little bit more than what they have bargained for. Koga has kind of assumed the number 1 catching position. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Although I wonder how long Koga will be a regular in the lineup. Kojima is looking pretty good. We got the start in last night's ball game. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Koga. So interesting that the fireworks all took place in the first inning between these two clubs, and now everything has kind of settled down. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right-hander rocks and delivers. Breaking ball in the left-handed batter's box. Pitch misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1 to Koga. So 2 balls and a strike. Lions fans in good spirits for this one as they are on their feet, as they normally are. At least the ones in the supporters in the outfield. There's a fastball missing upstairs. It's now 3-1 to Koga. Waiting his turn on deck is Alexander Canario. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Koga as the right-hander Iriyama ready to deliver again as he kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side, and Koga might want that one back. He looked like he was disgusted with himself. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Koga. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-1 Lions enjoying the lead here. All runs, as we said, came in inning number 1 in this affair. Here comes the full count pitch. Iriyama kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. Yeah, he tipped it. He caught it, and that is going to retire Koga. He's gone for out number 2 on strikes, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Alexander Canario. And for Canario, well, he has homered on the first pitch of the ball game that he saw. That was off of Taisuke Yamaoka. He also struck out in his last at-bat. That was against Soichiro Yamazaki. So 3 at-bats and 3 different pitchers. Yama delivers. There's the first pitch, breaking ball, waved at and missed. Count is quickly 0-1 to Canario. So no balls and 1 strike. Interesting. I wonder what the deal is with him and how they're going to plan to deploy him and use him. As we mentioned, he won 13 games back in 2019. And I don't know if he's won 13 combined since in any of the years that he's continued to pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, count now 1-1 to Canario. He's not a big fella, is Yamaoka. And then, of course, we had the off-field shenanigans last year, as we talked about at the top of the stream. As the 1-1 pitch is ready to come. On its way, fastball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at first base, and now the count goes to 1-2 on Canario. 25-year-old Iriyama on in relief here. His first inning of work has gone pretty good so far. Lions are keeping with their trend of last night. They've stranded 5 runners aboard in the first 3 innings. Last night, I believe it was 10 runs through the first 5 innings, or 10 runners through the first 5 innings. I have to go back and double check my numbers on that one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball in the left-handed batter's box. Canario waved at it. Wasn't even close. He needed a fishing rod to get that one out. And he's gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. A nice job there by Iriyama to come in and retire the side 1-2-3. That's 6 in a row now retired by Buffalo pitching. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. And your score is the Buffaloes trailing the Lions 2-1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout. After watching that last at bat, here's something Canario could use. Maybe that'll get him out of the hazard next time he comes to bat. We'll be right back in just a few after this from our friend Eric.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom third of the batting order to face Alan Winans here. It's Bob Seymour, Kotaro Kobayashi, and Tomoya Noguchi. As the right-hander has completed his tune-up tosses, he has retired 5 in a row now here, as he is going to be ready to face Seymour. As Seymour steps in, batting from the left side. 0-for-1 tonight, the big fella, as he grounded to first his only time up. Seymour running out of time, I do believe, to make an impression on the Buffalo faithful. Here comes the first pitch from Winans. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Bob Seymour. Winans gets himself a new baseball, and he's ready to go back to work again. Talking about the baseballs a little bit, the differences. I wish in some ways there was an industry standard right across the board. They say the Japanese balls are slightly smaller than the North American ones. There's a fastball swung on and grounded, foul over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2. Big Ray says he was trying to go to sleep with the TV on, and he noticed that he has the Pacific League Fighters and Hawks game on Prime TV. Is it really live? Well, if the score line and that ball game is 4-0, then I think you have a live one on your hands. 4-0 for the Fighters, that is. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on it, is popped up over into shallow left field. Moving in over underneath it and making the catch is Anko Lin. That's going to retire Seymour for the first out of the inning. So one gone. It's going to bring Kotaro Kobayashi to the plate. I heard at some point they were going to do that. They were also going to try to carry some Japanese games. I didn't know exactly whether it was them or maybe Netflix or whoever. But I know that there was talk about picking up some of the Japanese league. The Japanese league, far better than the, in terms of the quality of the ball, better than the Korean and the Taiwanese league. Although I like the baseball in those leagues too, but it's just not the same. First pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kobayashi. Guys who can play end up in the Japanese league. Guys who struggle end up in the Korean league. Typically. If you see players that leave the Japanese league, sometimes they go to the Korean league. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And on the flip side of the coin, guys who go to the Korean league can parlay themselves into a better contract, maybe in the Japanese league, or maybe bounce back elsewhere into professional baseball in North America. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. I think a lot of players have played in the Korean league over the last few years who were able to do that. Breaking ball misses inside. Count is 1-2. I think it drew Anderson immediately from the Tigers. Big Ray says it's like the AA in the Mexican league. Yeah, they often say that the Japanese league is like AAA. Sometimes I think some of the higher end teams might be even more like that 4A that I talk about. Too good for AAA, not good enough for the big leagues. There's a fastball that misses down and away. A good stop there by the catcher Koga. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But yeah, the Korean league, last year I saw 3 games in the Taiwanese league. Don't get me wrong, it's baseball is baseball and it's fun to watch. But the quality of the pitching just isn't there, and it drops off fairly quickly. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and it's chopped foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kotaro Kobayashi. And hence why you see the hitting is a little bit better in those other leagues, a lot more offense, because the pitching isn't quite the same. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kobayashi as the right-hander ready to go again. Here's the pitch from Winans. Breaking ball down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, and they say he didn't go. Oh, boy. I want to see that on the replay again. That's now 3-2 to Kobayashi. Let's take a look here. If that's not a strike, I don't know what is. Or at least not an offering, I don't know what is. Looks like the umpires tonight, maybe they think they're getting paid by the hour, because some of the calls tonight have been a little bit dicey at best. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains full to Kobayashi. Boy, if you're Alan Winans tonight, who's at 81 pitches right now, I wonder if he's going to come out for the 6th. He's got to get through the 5th here, but I think his night probably is going to be close to being finished. He was at 99 pitches in his first outing. Tonight here, the only blemish so far is the Tomoya Mori home run. Here's the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball down. It might as well appeal again, because Kobayashi looked like he couldn't hold up, but they're not going to appeal, and he's going to get himself a base on balls. That's the second time he's been aboard tonight. And that is going to bring to the plate Tomoya Noguchi. As Noguchi steps to the dish, he is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He has struck out his only time up. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I don't usually look at Amazon so much, Amazon Prime or Amazon Prime Video. Our friend Big Ray obviously bringing to our attention what is happening and going on. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count now 0-2 here to Noguchi. Live events and upcoming events and so on and so forth. We've got the MLB. They've got sports subscriptions to Zone, everything else. I don't do anything to that. RDS, Apple TV. Just too much confusion with all the stuff that's available out there. I'd just rather watch what we can watch. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side of the infield, fielded neatly by the first baseman, Hirasawa. He goes to second for 1, but they're unable to turn the double play. Covering was Winans. It's going to go as a fielder's choice. It's going to go in the books to erase Kobayashi 3-6. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Safe on the backside is Noguchi. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe. They certainly have a lot of options on the Amazon Prime front. They have live TV. They've got all kinds of stuff. And to be honest with you, I really don't know what they have down the trail. Sportsnet, I just don't understand all the, I guess it's different ways to get money out of you. First pitch breaking ball delivered to Watanabe, misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. I would much rather prefer it to be one-stop shopping. I mean, I got rid of my cable a couple of years ago because, to be honest with you, I'd rather pay for what I want to watch and not have to pay for a lot of stuff I don't want to watch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Friend Big Ray says he always thought Trevor Bauer got a raw deal from the MLB. Do you think that he's playing now with Long Island? I've seen a couple of the things. Yeah, I do kind of feel bad for him now. I think coming back stateside to play in that league, it's almost like sideshow stuff. Might as well go pitch for the Savannah Bananas. Here's the pitch, breaking ball down, but they say that Watanabe went around. The count goes to 1-2, which is too bad. I mean, people are going to say they like Bauer, they don't like Bauer. Watanabe's going to come in. They're going to take a look at him here. Trainer comes out. Looks like he may have strained a muscle. Get a look at the replay. It looked like he tried to check his swing. And he couldn't hold up. And in doing that, you can see that he kind of flinched his arm, but he's going to stay in the game. It was his right arm that was bothering him. And Alan Winans, what has happened with Winans? Something happened looks like there may have been some jewelry or whenever it was off his ring finger or his glove finger. Anyways, that has come out of the game now. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Watanabe. As we said, this game here, you might as well bring out the tarps. It seems like it's a rain delay every half inning. If you've just joined us, we're in the top of the 5th inning. Runner on first is Noguchi. There's 2 outs. It's 1-2 here to Watanabe. As Winans ready to deliver. Here comes the pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on, grounded right back to the pitcher. He fields it. He flips it to first. That's going to do it. A ground out 1-3, and now half of the game is in the books. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is a 2-1 lead for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. More action when we come back, and hopefully Big Ray's sticking around a little bit longer. We'll be back in just a few. Your score is 2-1 for the Lions as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're glad you guys can make it in here with us tonight, and we'll be back in just a couple moments right after this.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. Got to have an ace in the hole. Looks like that might be the end of the night for Alan Winans, as he is getting the proverbial congratulations, or at least acknowledgement from the manager. But I think his night will be over. It is going to be the right-hander Iriyama, who is back on the hill again, and the first pitch is a fastball taken under the hands for called strike to Natsuo Takezawa. Takezawa tonight is 2 for 2. He's got a couple of singles in his 2 trips. He's moved his season average up to 283. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander. He works himself into the set, and now he rocks and delivers. Fastball misses way upstairs, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 5th inning, it is Lions enjoying a 2-1 lead over the Buffaloes. As Iriyama delivers, there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Takezawa. Those of you poking your heads in here looking for the over-under, boy, all the runs scored in the first inning. Maybe our friend Harrison, who is joining us here, might be able to conjure up a couple more runs. There's a fastball that misses inside. Count now goes even to 2-2 on Takizawa. Harrison, the Bay Stars fan in the house. Glad you can make it in there, Harrison. Don't know if you brought the girlfriend in tow, but regardless, we are glad you can make it in. There's a fastball that misses way outside, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Takizawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hirayama, who came in relief in the last inning, was able to retire the side 1-2-3. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. And the count remains full here to Takizawa. Harrison said he liked the Buffaloes during the Yamamoto period. A good time to like the Buffs. He's put her to rest, and Harrison is getting down to the real action of Japanese baseball. Fastball misses way upstairs. Takizawa is going to give himself a walk. That's the third time tonight he's been aboard. First time tonight via a base on balls. So he's going to make his way down to first. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Seiya Watanabe. And for Watanabe tonight, well, he is 1 for 2. He has singled and bounced into a fielder's choice. It is going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound. And why not? Why not slow this game down even further? It's got to be like a record for how slow the first 5 innings have gone here. But that was a pretty quick conference from the pitching coach, so whatever they had to say is over with. As Watanabe coming to the plate here, face Hirayama, the bottom half of inning number 5. Our friend Harrison says he really likes the Fighters, and Franmil Reyes likes that team a lot. Yeah, well, they've struggled lately, although they are winning tonight, looking to break that streak against the Hawks, who have their number. I think they said it was 7 or 8 in a row that the Hawks have lost to the Hawks have beaten the Fighters. There's a ground ball chopped to short. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's not going to be in time. Tip your hat to Watanabe. He was able to get down the baseline pretty quick. It's going to retire Takizawa at 6-4 on the putout. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Tyler Nevin. So Nevin coming to bat. He has officially does not have an at-bat here tonight. He has walked, and he had a sacrifice fly driving in the second run of the ball game for the Lions. So Hirayama holding to the set. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. The count is 1-0 to Nevin. Harrison said he liked the Marines with Roki as well. You know, I'm not saying I kicked myself, but I passed up a game that was, I think, Roki Sasaki against Kohei Arihara. And the problem was that there was a lot of rain in the forecast, and I didn't want to get the ticket and then not have to be able to see the game. Fastball swung on and missed. Count 1-1. I gambled and lost, I guess would be the way I would put it. And that would have been my one opportunity to see the Hawks. I saw the Lions and the Marines in Chiba, and I didn't get a chance to see the Hawks. The Hawks are one of the few teams that I haven't seen live. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. On its way. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. Only 2 teams I haven't seen live have been the Hawks and the Eagles. I've seen everybody else, and sometimes multiple times. I've only seen the Dragons 1 time. Giants, Swallows, a lot of those teams, Carp, Bay Stars a bunch of times. Actually, Bay Stars I think I've only seen a couple of times as well. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball down, gets all the way to the backstop. Not very good catching by Tomoya Mori. Tried to backhand a pitch down and away. It goes all the way to the backstop. 3-1 to Tyler Nevin. Might as well just put him on here and start fresh with Anko Lin. Ball bounced about 4 feet in front of home plate, and Mori tried to backhand it, and the ball ended up going all the way to the backstop. Not very good technique by the veteran catcher. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Nevin. He's looking to do some damage here. He is in a zone right now. Here comes the offering from the righty. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded neatly by Noguchi. He's going to throw out Nevin at first. They do advance the runner over to third. So a ground out 4-3, and that is going to bring up Anko Lin here with 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th. I haven't spent a lot of time in Yokohama. They say it's supposed to be beautiful. I mean, I've only been in and out to see the game. And here we go. So the longest 5 innings is probably going to continue here. They're going to make a pitching change here as Iriyama's night's going to be over. And so the slow pace of this game continues. 2 hours, over 2 hours. And we have yet another pitching change for the Buffaloes. It'll be the 4th pitcher to be used tonight, as we will get that for you when we come back in just a couple of moments. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here's our friend, Steve.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rademacher coming back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool. To go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the one-time high school star Kosei Yoshida who is taking on over in relief. It's his 9th appearance of the year. The right-hander has yet to allow a run, and he is going to be facing Anko Lin with 2 gone here and a runner at third in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So he has completed his tune-up tosses, and Lin is striding to the plate. So Lin tonight is officially 0-for-1. He has struck out and walked in his 2 trips. Batting from the left side here against Yoshida. And for those of you who have just jumped in with us tonight, we appreciate you guys for popping in, as is the NPB on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, giving you the live commentary. Here's the pitch from Yoshida. It's a fastball that comes inside. Did it hit him? Looked like it hit him on the first pitch. Got him on the elbow. Welcome to the ball game, Yoshida, as he hits the first batter he faces. As Lin is slowly going to make his way to first base, that puts runners on the corners. It's going to bring Taiga Hirasawa to the plate. Yeah, he just slowly pulled back and got him on the elbow guard, and ball deflected down into Tomoya Mori. And is that going to be the end of the night for Lin? Sure looks like it. His day looks like it could be finished. We'll have to get the pinch runner for you as well here in just a moment. It's going to be number 68, Junichiro Kishi. We saw him come in last night's ball game. I assume he's going to stay in defensively as well. So this brings Taiga Hirasawa to the plate. Hirasawa tonight 0-for-2. He has flown to left, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander Yoshida. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. Ball and no strikes. Our friend Harrison says he wants to take the train a lot. He's just looking at passes. I think a 7-day pass is in the neighborhood of about $300 US. And on top of it, that's a JR pass. If you get it, you can also ride the local JR trains for free. Subways or anything else of that nature. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, almost hits Hirasawa. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. He took out Iriyama for Yoshida, and we've had to watch a lot of fluff so far. Here comes the 2-0. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now 2-1. Shinya Hasegawa winning his turn on deck. Oh, it looked like maybe I'd have to double check on that. It may have been a split finger pitch. Sure looked like it was a breaking ball initially, but the way the depth of the pitch, looked like Yoshida might have thrown a splitter there. A lot of 12-6 movement. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep right field, but not deep enough. Moving over toward the foul line and making the catch is the right fielder Kita, and that is going to do it. Hirasawa's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that'll end it here for the Lions in their half of the 5th. There was no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your scores were now through 5 complete. It is the Lions 2, the Buffaloes 1. As you know, it is going to be what we like to call Japanese halftime. We'll be back with the 6th inning. It is about a 5-minute break, and we'll take a break with them as well. Come on back when we return. 2-1 Lions as we go to the 6th. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change for the Lions as the night for Alan Winans is over. It is going to be Shinsuke Sato coming on in relief. We saw him in last night's ball game. He's making his 9th appearance of the year, and he is yet to allow an earned run. So Shinsuke Sato is completing his 2 tosses, and we will be ready to go. So left-hander on the hill here in relief, and he'll be slated to face Ryoma Nishikawa, Tomoya Mori, and Kai Nakagawa, all coming to bat here for the Buffaloes. We are in the top of the 6th inning, as it is a game that has taken us forever to get through, it seems like, tonight. So we'll see how this one all plays out now. Nishikawa 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to center and he has bounced into a fielder's choice. We'll take a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. Other games in the Pacific League, 8-1 still for the Eagles over the Marines. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle into center field, and Nishikawa is aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 6th. That is going to bring up the catcher in Tomoya Mori. The scoreline between the Fighters and the Hawks, 4-0 for the Fighters in that one. Hawks have a runner at second and are threatening. At least that was what we had last. I got to double check make sure everything is still intact here. Check that. It's 6-4 now for the Hawks in that one. Scores in the Central League, 3-0 for the Dragons over the Carp. That's at the top of the 6th. Tigers have a 3-0 lead over the Giants. That's in bottom of 5. Bay Stars 1-0 over the Swallows, top of the 5th inning in that one. As the lefty Sato ready to deliver to Mori. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back on the track and making the catch is Hasegawa. And retreating all the way back to first is Nishikawa. Mori hit it a long way. Unfortunately for him, it was to the deepest part of the ballpark. And he's going to be gone for the first out of inning number 6. That's going to bring up the left fielder in Kaita Nakagawa. So all I can do is slowly walk back. He's done it a lot of times here for the Saitama Seibu Lions when Mori was in their uniform. But he is going to be gone for the first out of the inning, and that will bring up Nakagawa to the plate, who is 0 for 2 in this one. Nakagawa has flown to center and flown to right in his 2 trips to the plate. As the lefty Sato works himself into the set position, here comes the first offering to Nakagawa. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakagawa waggling the bat. Waiting on the offering from the lefty. Here comes the 1-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Sato getting the signs from Koga. Checks that runner over at first, which is Nishikawa. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field, and it's going to get down in front of Canario. He plays on an interesting hop, and now he's going to have to fire that one back in. That's going to be a base hit for Nakagawa. So they got something brewing here to the Buffaloes as they got runners at first and second with 1 gone. And that is going to bring the third baseman Yumamune to the plate. Good piece of hitting there by Nakagawa. He stayed inside the ball and went the other way with it. And the way the ball had hit, I got to give some props to Canario. He got his chest in front of the ball to not let it get by him. Maybe it was a bit of a zoo route to the baseball. So Sato's got himself in a bit of a pickle here. Runners at first and second, 1 gone. And Yuma Mune striding to the plate here. Mune hitting .260 on the year with those 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Crowd is making their noise right now for their visitors, the visiting Buffaloes. Pitch on the way, and it has come inside, and it has hit Mune. That's going to load the bases. I don't know. Mune's down a bit, but if you're going to get hit by a pitch, I think, Yuma, that's the one you're going to get hit by. It looked like it was a breaking ball from Sato. We'll get a look at that one again. Maybe it was the deflection. It got him in the back, and then it deflected off his elbow, so maybe that is a case for him. Harrison said he's been doing Japanese Duolingo for 99 days. That's pretty good. He says he wants to get a Passmo card and take the Shinkansen from Yokohama to Tokyo and Kyoto. Well, I don't think you need the card to get the Shinkansen from Yokohama to Tokyo. That's only about 40 minutes from the central part of the city. You can just take the local transit. You would take the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Osaka, and then you just a commuter train. It's only 20 minutes or so to Kyoto. It's not that big a deal. You don't need to hop on a bullet to go there. Might want to get on the bullet to go from Osaka to Kanazawa. That would be quite the ride. So this is going to load the bases. You got Nishikawa at third. You got Nakagawa at second. Over at first is Mune. And striding the plate here is Ryoto Kita. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Looking for his first hit of the evening. Lefty-lefty matchup. As he holds to the set, here comes the pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball taken for a call and strike. The count is 0-1. My friend Harrison says he wants a bullet train. Yeah, I think it's about a 4-hour ride from Tokyo to Osaka, I think, if I remember correctly. 3 or 4 hour ride, whatever that would be. And it literally flies by. It's a great opportunity. Lefty Sato takes a deep breath. He checks the runner over at third. Here comes the 0-1. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is looped into left field. It's going to be caught. Tagging at third. Here comes the throw. Is it going to be in time? It's not going to be in time. And sliding in safely, they had to use the cut, is the runner Nishikawa. It's going to be a sacrifice fly and an RBI off the Badakita, as he's going to be gone for the second out. Nice job there. Nishikawa comes in to score, and we are now locked up at 2s. I wasn't sure he was going to get the job done or not. I mean, that ball didn't have enough. Didn't know if I was going to have enough depth, but the way that the left fielder caught it, he was very flat-footed. That would be Junichiro Kishi, because Kishi has come in for Anko Lin. So defensively, maybe not exactly the best spot there for the left fielders. Well, that is going to bring to the plate Bob Seymour. Seymour tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to first, and he has flown to left. Seymour could use a little bit of love in his game right now, so lefty-lefty matchup. Big fella has yet to produce some big-time numbers. Kind of makes you wonder if how they feel about Leandro Cedeno. Cedeno probably produced a little more than Seymour. Pitch on the way, fastball swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Seymour. Seymour is a big fella. We talked about this on a couple of the other streams. Ian Seymour, pitcher with the Tampa Bay Rays. Of course, Bob Seymour came from the Rays organization. I wondered if they were related in some capacity. Obviously, the last names are similar. So we got no balls and 1 strike to Seymour as we have taken the time here. Only thing that is different is the last names. I just don't know. It never really indicated if that was his brother. He was with the Tampa Bay Rays last year and then got released to pursue his opportunities in Major League Baseball. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes even to 1-1. I don't think they're related because the Ian Seymour, the pitcher, he was born in Connecticut. The hitter Seymour was born in Harvey, Illinois. And they're both 27 years old. So that'll tell you that they are not born on the same day, born in the same year, unless they're what we would call Irish twins. That wouldn't be the case either, not enough time in between. There's a breaking ball swung on a grounded foul over on the first base side. The count is 1-2 to Seymour. Game is all locked up at 2s as the Buffaloes have clawed one back here. Sacrifice fly off the bat. Akita has evened the score line at 2 apiece. I do still think the Lions are going to pull this one out tonight. We were talking at the top of the stream. They asked us who we thought, and I said, well, I think it's a Lions game tonight. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Seymour. As the lefty Sato again works to the set position. He checks the runner over at second. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, waved at and missed, and that is going to retire Seymour. He's going to be down on strikes, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. Seymour walks away shaking his head, probably at himself. 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score, as we are now through 5.5 innings. It is the Buffaloes 2 and the Lions 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in a little bit with all the action right after this musical timeout. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to be coming to bat here for the Lions in their half of inning number 6. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters. That means Shinya Hasegawa, Kaz Ishii, and Yuta Koga. As we will be ready to carry on the stream here as the right-hander Kosei Yoshida coming back out to start his first full inning of work, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Hasegawa. So no balls and 1 strike. Batting from the right side is Hasegawa, waiting on the pitch from Yoshida, who rocks and delivers. There's a fastball missing outside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Hasegawa, Ishii, and Koga slated to come to bat here in inning number 6. And now time has been called. I don't know what's going on here. They come out to check on Bob Seymour. What's going on with him over there at first base? Seymour looks like I don't know if he's taken himself out of the game or what the deal is. Or if they're going to take him down and have a look at his hand. Complaining about his glove side hand in particular. We've got the interpreter and he's got the group over there. So they're going to go down. They're going to have a look at him. See if his night is done or if he's going to come back into the game. Very strange. Manager is talking to his pitching coach. Whatever they said, they had a little bit of a chuckle. But no decision yet on Seymour. Very interesting. Up in front of the dugout. And throwing, we'll take a look here, see if he's going to enter into the fray. Is number 61. That looks like it is Shota Hiranuma. Who's he playing catch with? He is playing catch with number 50. That would be Ryoma Yamanaka. So I'm not sure who would come in at first. We're waiting here. Is Seymour coming back out? Yeah, there he is. He's coming back out. I think maybe they had to make an adjustment. He's got some wraps on his forearm, so big fella making his way back into the fray. So the other players can go have a sit down. Seymour back in. He's a big man. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Hasegawa here as that delay is now over. Yoshida ready to go back to work. As he rocks himself slowly into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that comes up and in and almost hits Hasegawa. Counts now 2-1. And you got to think about it. For us, complaining is how long this game has taken to play in the first 5 innings. Every little delay just seems like it is adding time to this one here. I hope we can get through 7 in 3 hours. Here comes the pitch. 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball swung on, hammered, foul, just past the bag at third base. 2-2 now to Hasegawa. And not by much. We got to look at the replay. We get it right down the line. Third base umpire standing right there to be able to make the call. No complaints from the batter Hasegawa or the Lions on that one. So here comes the pitch from Yoshida. He rocks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and now the count is full to Hasegawa. Kazunori Ishii, Yuta Koga, the 8 and 9 hitters to follow here. As Yoshida slowly rocks himself into the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, and Hasegawa's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's the first strikeout recorded by Yoshida here in this one. Now he's going to bring Kazunori Ishii to the plate. I thought it was a breaking ball, but then we get a look at the replay. Really wasn't a split finger pitch. I don't know if that was a change piece or not, just the way that the grip was coming out of his hand. It seemed to choke it off and have a little bit of depth to it. Here comes the first offering now to the left-handed hitting Ishii, and it's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Certainly the ball flutters up to the plate from Yoshida at times. And there is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes even to 2, or count goes even. Count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yoshida again rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken on the inside corner for called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. And Yoshida delivers. Fastball misses down and in. Count goes now to 3-1. Lions looking for a base runner again here. Is not only can I see this game going, I could probably see it ending up extra innings. Can you imagine this? 4 hours for 9, add 3 more innings to the punch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count goes full to Ishii. I would lose my mind. I wouldn't be a very happy camper. Looks like the Marines have got a couple of runs back as the Eagles have a 8-3 lead in the top of the 7th. And there is a fastball that is swung on and missed. It is held on by the catcher, and strikeout number 2 of the inning is in the books. We'll get a look at the replay on that one. Looked like a change piece again from Yoshida. We'll get a look at that one. Yeah, it definitely was. Well, pitchfork change, as it looks like a four-seam fastball coming out of his hands, but the ball just dies right off. Well, so much for the Chinichi Dragons' early 3-0 lead. It is the Carp with a 5-3 lead now over the Dragons in that one. Tigers continuing to lay the wood to the Giants. They're up 4-0. Bay Stars have a 1-0 lead over the Swallows. This game here is all locked up at 2s. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted into right center field. It's going to bloop down for a base hit. Over to pick it up is the right fielder, Kita, and he's going to fire it back in. So Utikoga with his second hit of the night. He's got himself a single. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Alexander Canario. Well, for Canario, he has been very, very good in this one so far. Friend Harrison tapping out. Appreciate you for popping in again tonight, Harrison. So for Canario, well, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He homered with the first pitch off the first pitch he saw the ball game. And then he has struck out twice. Well, that big hack there, he tried to deposit another one into the seats. He is now behind in the count at 0-1. That home run Canario hit in the first inning was his 3rd of the season. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball misses inside. The count goes even to 1-1 on Canario. Harrison's asked before he goes, did you ever go to a Titans or a Quebec Capitals game? Nope. Never. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the track, leaping and gone. A 2-run homer for Canario. And that is going to give the Lions a 4-2 lead. So they answer right back with Canario's 2nd of the night, 4th of the year. A 2-run blast. And the Lions have regained the lead 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So he is going to go back and get that teddy bear as well as the gold chain to put around his neck so he can go and high-five his teammates. And the crowd is excited in Takarazawa as they are waving the flags. Harrison said I should try Trois Rivera. To be honest with you, I live on the other side of the continent. I was down in Everett last week, saw the Aqua Sox. I'm going to try to get down to Tacoma this year. I'd like to see the Rainiers. I want to see that stadium. Maybe even down to Hillsborough. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander Yoshida slowly working into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to the right side. Noguchi fields it on the run. He skips a little toss over to first. That's a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Lions. But damage done. A 2-run homer off the bat of Alexander Canario has put the Lions back out in front. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores were now through 6 complete. It is the Lions with a 4-2 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. We appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat here for the Buffaloes in inning number 7. That means Kentaro Kobayashi, Tomoya Noguchi, and Haruto Watanabe to face, well, possibly another relief pitcher. We haven't got confirmation yet if Shinsuke Sato's day is done, but we expect that it should be. Just waiting on the announcement of the pitching change. So Alexander Canario with the 2-run shot has now provided a 4-2 lead here for the Lions as we get to the back 3 frames of the ball game. As we wait here, it has been 2 hours and 40 minutes for 6 innings. It's not like the score line is, 10-8. So we'll see who the pitching change is, as they are going to a right-hander. Number 52, we saw him last night as well. It'd be Hibiki Shinohara on in relief. So he'll be the 3rd pitcher used by the Lions in this one. So the right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1 to Kentaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi batting from the right side here against the right-hander Shinohara, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball center cut for a called strike. The count's 0-2. Kobayashi tonight is officially 1 for 1. He's got a double and he's walked in his 2 trips to the plate. I think there are some defensive replacements. It looks like the Canario's night may be completed. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Not exactly 100% sure who the right fielder is. I thought I saw the number 50, maybe Wataru Takamatsu, but they list him as an infielder, so I'll have to get a check to see who that is. As there is a fastball swung on and missed. Kobayashi's down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. He'll bring up the second baseman in Tomoya Noguchi. So I'm not confident that that is the player in the ball game, but we will find out here in just a moment. They are yet to update on Sports Navi. Fastball swung on, and this is lifted down the left field line. It's slicing into the corner, racing over, unable to make the catches. Junichiro Kishi, he's going to fire it back in. As it's a fair ball, it looks like it's going to land in fair territory. Maybe we'll get a look at that one again. But it looks like it's going to be a double here for Noguchi, so he's aboard with a 1-out double. Bring up the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe. Get a look again. That ball was lifted down the left field line. It was slicing away from the fielder, Kishi. Yeah, it was a fair ball. He had reached out for it. He had to come a long way. And he wasn't able to make the grab. He slid to get underneath the ball, and the ball ended up down and into the corner. So this is going to bring Haruto Watanabe to the plate. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that is missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Harrison says we traded him to Pittsburgh last spring. Yeah, Canario, I thought Canario was always a Pirate, but that's the way she goes. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, well, we were talking a little bit about these type of players. Sometimes you get guys that they're out of options at the, professional level in Major League Baseball. And rather than, being picked up, DFA'd, and then taking a AAA assignment, you might as well take a look at maybe getting some stability over in Japan. There's a fastball swung and it's grounded to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Ishii, who throws to first. That's going to be a ground out 4-3. Watanabe's in the books. He's gone for out number 2. Advancing over to third is Noguchi. Going to leave it all up to Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He singled and scored a run in the 6th. He bounced into a fielder's choice, and he has flown to center. So Nishikawa batting from the left side here as the right-hander holds to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Do thank everybody who has popped in here tonight. Whether you're new to the channel or old to the channel, glad you could be with us. As we mentioned, we're going to try to look to do Bay Stars and Buffaloes on Tuesday in the middle of the night, North American time. Pitch on the way, breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. Interleague play for the next 3 weeks. Looking forward to that. Always pleased to do the interleague stuff. I really enjoy that. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander again works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. The count now goes to 2-1 on Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Another good crowd in Korozawa for these 2 teams. I was going to check last night's attendance. I think last night's attendance was better than Friday's. They said last night they had 26,649. Fastball misses way outside. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Waiting on deck is Tomoya Mori. I don't think I want to face Tomoya Mori being that he's a former Saitama Seibu Lion. He always has a bone to pick with the ball club. We've not announced the attendance for tonight's game. I would say it's got to be more healthy than last night. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats on the third base side. The count's now 3-2 to Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as Nishikawa waits on the offering. Right-hander holds to the set. Here comes the offering now. On its way. Fastball misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Nishikawa's aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners on the corners with 2 gone, and it's going to leave it all up to Tomoya Mori. This is exactly the player I said you didn't want to face in this situation. Mori maybe in the leadoff spot, but certainly not here. He's got a chance to put a charge into a ball and flip the scoreline again. So the pitching coach made his way out to the mound here. His talk is now over. So we got ourselves a little drama here in Korozawa between the Lions and the Buffaloes. 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Runners are on the corners. It is Noguchi at third, Nishikawa at first. Tomoya Mori coming to the plate. 1 for 3 tonight. He homered in the first inning. He's struck out looking and flown to center in his 3 trips. He's got his season average up to 262. The 5th home run tonight and 17 runs batted in. First pitch, breaking ball, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Mori. So you've walked in right at the right time. Mori batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Shinohara, who kicks and fires. There's a split-finger pitch that's wildly swung out in the dirt, and the count now goes to 0-2. So all the cards are in the favor of Shinohara. Literally bounced it up to the plate. Mori with a wild swing. So no balls and 2 strikes to the veteran catcher of the Buffaloes, one-time Pacific League MVP. And he did that in a Lions uniform. So here comes the 0-2. Shinohara holds set, now delivers. Fastball misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Mori. Mori again taps both sides of the plate, digs himself back in. As we are ready to go again, the right-hander holds to the set. Here's the 1-2. On the way, another ball bouncing up to the plate. Now the count goes to 2-2 on Mori. Looming on deck is Kaita Nakagawa, as he will be looking for his turn. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mori waiting here on the pitch from Shinohara. Shinohara looking in, getting his sign. Here comes the pitch as he nods in agreement. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and knifed foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 2s to Mori. Good piece of hitting there by Mori to be able to spoil it. So 2-2 it remains. So Shinohara again leaning in. This is going to be his 20th pitch of the inning. It's not been an easy inning for Shinohara, as now he works himself to the belt. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-2. So full count to Mori. The runner at first, Nishikawa, is going to be on the move once he delivers to the plate. We got 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tomoya Mori. Again, the right-hander leading in, and now Shinohara steps off the backside of the rubber. We're going to do this all over again. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shinohara getting the sign. Mori probably going to get a decent enough pitch to hit here, as the right-hander works to the belt. Here comes the 3-2. On the way, fastball swung on and fouled right off of Yuta Koga. And the drama continues here. So 3-2 it is to Tomoya Mori. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're going to do it again. The crowd for the Lions has settled down quite a bit, as enthusiastic as they were in the top half of the inning. The 3-2 forthcoming to Mori. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chop foul over on the third base side, and this battle continues. It is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming here to Tomoya Mori. The opportunity to do some damage. Top of the 7th inning. The Lions regained the lead in the bottom of the 6th. Alexander Canario hit his 2nd homer of the ball game. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander works to the set, now delivers. Fastball down. It's going to be ball 4. Mori wins that battle. Shinohara lets him off the hook. It's going to load the bases. So bases full of Buffaloes, and it's going to bring Kaita Nakagawa to the plate. Now we're going to have a conference on the hill here. So bases full of Buffaloes. Shinohara don't want anything to do with Tomoya Mori. Great battle there by Mori. 9-pitch at bat, as he is able to win it and load the bases for his club. So we'll start fresh here with Kaita Nakagawa. Nakagawa tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also flown to center and flown to right. So he strides to the plate, ready to face Ibiki Shinohara for the first time tonight. Shinohara is the 3rd pitcher used by the Lions in this one. As I mentioned, he and Sato pitched last night, so it kind of makes you wonder a little bit if their stuff is as good as it was the night before. Sometimes you'll see pitchers will pitch well the one night and they can't come back and repeat. First pitch, breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Nakagawa, so he's ahead in the count now is Shinohara. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Again, the right-hander working himself into the set position. Shinohara ready to deliver. Fastball, waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. So way ahead in the count here. Again, the right-hander Shinohara leading in, trying to get himself out of the jam. Runner at third is Noguchi. Runner at second, Nishikawa. Runner at first, Mori. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded over the right side. No, nice play by the first baseman. Excellent job by Hirasawa to field it. He's going to step on the bag, and the threat is over here for the Buffaloes. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit, no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Lions 4 and the Buffaloes 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a few after this version of Take Me Out to the Ballgame.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change. It is going to be Hiroshi who is on in relief for the Buffaloes. As we talked the other night, he only goes by the one name, and the first 2 pitches that he's thrown, first one was for a ball, and the second one was for a strike, and the count is 1-1 to Seiya Watanabe. Right-hander ready to deliver again, and he delivers a breaking ball that swung on it, is lifted into straightaway center field. Started in, and now moving back on it is Watanabe, and he's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire the other Watanabe for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. It brings up Tyler Nevin to the plate. Well, for Tyler Nevin, he is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He is grounded to second. He has walked. He's also had a sacrifice fly and driven in one of the Lions' runs tonight. As he comes to the plate here. And the first pitch on the way. Whoa! That is a Fastball that comes up and in, and it backs him off the plate. He loses his helmet. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nevin. That pitch there ran up and in right at the head of the player. For those of you who are new to the Japanese league, if a player gets hit in the head by the pitcher, no matter what, it is an automatic ejection from the ball game. We've seen it a couple of times where that's happened. We'll see it very often, maybe when we're calling games once or twice a year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on, chopped over to third, fielded by Mune, fires across the diamond, and that is going to retire Nevin on a ground out, 5-3. 2 gone here, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Junichiro Kishi. At least it's slated to bring up Kishi. And that is who is coming to bat. He had replaced Anko Lin defensively. And the 6th inning actually came on to pinch run for Lin in the 5th. So Kishi batting .206 on the year. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Kishi. Right-hander Hiroshi ready to go again. There's a fastball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We're definitely getting into the deep water now in this ball game. The Buffaloes are running out outs. They only got 6 outs left to play with. Here comes the 2-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kishi. Lions fans back on their feet, making their noise and cheering their players on. As the right-hander again works himself to the set, 2-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side, 2-2 now to Kishi. Waggling the bat, ready to get the offering from the right-hander as Kishi stands in. Pitch from Hiroshi. Fastball misses down and away. Count now full to the left fielder of the Lions. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is as Hiroshi ready to go once again. Here comes the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chop foul over on the third base side. 3-2 it remains. The Lions tonight, at least by our account, have only gone down in order in the 4th inning. The rest of the night, there has at least been 1 hit or a walk or an error that has allowed a runner to reach base. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to second. Noguchi fields it. He throws to first. And now you got your second 1-2-3 inning of the night for the Lions. It is no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 7 complete innings. Your score is the Lions 4 and the Buffaloes 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. We're expecting another pitching change from the Lions, and we'll keep the pitching parade rolling when we come back after this timeout. Stay with us. It is a pitching change, and we'll get that confirmation for you when we return right after this. Stick around, everybody. It is our good friend Steve Rademacher, and he is relaxing and doing what he does best, having a beer.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a new right-hander on the mound. It is going to be number 34, Hiroshi Kaino, on in relief, as he will be the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Lions in this one. He is slated to face Yumamune, Ryota Kita, and Bob Seymour, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to the plate. So we'll see how this all shapes up here for the young right-hander. So Kaino ready to go as Mune steps in. Mune tonight has 0 for 2 officially. He has struck out and grounded out, and he was hit by a pitch his last time up. As the right-hander holds to the set now, delivers a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes 0-1 to Yuma Mune. Mune taps both sides of the plate as the right-hander holds himself into the set position. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Mune. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander kind of way up in the count as the 0-2 ready to come. Buffalo's running out of outs. They've only got 6 outs left to play with here, and they're down by 2. As the right-hander delivers, it is a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2 now on Mune. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the right-hander ready to go as he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher. And he works to the set. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses way outside. Now it goes to 2-2 on Mune. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just taking a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, as we will keep you up to date on all the happenings from around the NPB. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Mune can't believe it. He's gone on strikes for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the right fielder in Ryota Kita. So as we said, giving you some updates from around the NPB, the Tohoku Rakuten Gold Eagles 8-4 lead at the bottom of the 8th against the Chibalote Marines. 6-5, the Hawks have a lead over the Fighters. At the bottom of the 5th inning, and that one there, the Fighters have blown a 4-0 lead. And they are in some trouble as the Hawks have a couple of runners on. There's a first pitch breaking ball missing outside Nikita, and the count is 1-0. Over in the Central League, Bay Stars have a 1-0 lead over the Swallows. Carp have a 5-3 lead over the Dragons. Dragons scored 3 in the early going in that one. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1 on Kita. And the Hanshin Tigers in the bottom of the 7th inning have a 6-1 lead over the Amuri Giants, as Haruto Saiki has been pitching in that one. He has been pitching fairly well tonight. So here comes the 1-1 now to Kita as the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. It's important that you keep Kita off the bases because Seymour on deck has some juice in the bat. The only problem is he doesn't hit the ball enough. You don't want to be into that situation where he is the tying run. Come to bat and can do a lot of damage to you. Here comes the 1-2. As the pitch on the way is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. They're going to have to throw down to get him. It's going to be a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. Second strikeout recorded on the evening for the reliever Kino. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman Bob Seymour. And if you're going to face Bob Seymour, this is the situation where you want to face him. Nobody on. If he dings one into the seats, it's only worth 1 point. So it doesn't make a difference. It is Seymour coming to the bat. 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out, he's flown out, and he has struck out. And his 3 tips to the dish. So Seymour ready to go. Here comes the first pitch. The right-hander who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Seymour. Like it was of the split finger variety. So no balls and 1 strike. Seymour, a very big man, hitting with a slightly open stance from the left side. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses down. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Crowd in good spirits. Cheering their Buffaloes on, as there is not a huge road show for the Buffaloes. There's a fastball swung on, it's fouled right back off the mask of Utakoga, and the count goes to 1-2 on Seymour. Koga took that one flush. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander again works to the set and delivers another fastball swung on and another one lifted foul. And the count 1-2 to Seymour. And again, the right-hander with a new baseball ready to go again. Kino looking to retire the side 1-2-3. He struck out the first 2 batters he's faced, trying to retire Seymour. Here's the 1-2. And it's a split figure swung on and missed. They're going to have to tag Seymour. He's going to be gone on strikes. He's out for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 8th. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Anticipating a pitching change for the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. Bottom of the 8th is just around the corner, and we got lots more action to bring you on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging in here with us tonight. Right back after this.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for the Lions in their half of inning number 8. Taiga Hirasawa, Shinya Hasegawa, and Kazunori Ishii, as we will have to get caught up on the new pitcher for the Buffaloes. As that is, or are they staying with the right-hander Hiroshi? It is going to be Hiroshi. In the first pitch he delivers as a fastball swung on, grounded over to first. and they're going to take it easily. It's Bob Seymour is not in the game anymore. That's where the changes will be coming. So with one pitch, we have one away at a ground out to 3. And that's going to bring up the center fielder in Shinya Hasegawa. It is Yamanaka who has taken over at first base. That would be number 50. They list him as a catcher, Ryoma Yamanaka. So he is in the spot, I do believe, of Bob Seymour. Doesn't look like there's another switch. Shinya Hasegawa at the plate. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted softly over behind second base. Moving back on it is Noguchi. He's there to make the catch. We got 2 quick outs here to start the 8th. And by my count, that is 6 in a row retired now by the Buffalo pitching. Action up in the bullpen. It is Iwaki, who had come in and closed last night's game. He is going to try to do it all over again tonight. So looks like we have a pinch hitter here. It looks, or is it not? There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. It is going to be taken by the player himself. Looks like it is Nishikawa, who is hitting in the spot of Kazunori Ishii. So Nishikawa is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it, as that will end it here. Ground out to first. Out number 3. They go quietly and in order. We're going to have a pitching change. It looks like Iwaki is coming in. He's completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be back to bring it for you in a minute. Looking ahead, it's 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat. Kobayashi, Noguchi, and the top of the order, Watanabe, when we return after this. Stay with us, everybody. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is the reliever Iwaki who is coming into the ball game. This is number 20, and that is Akua Iwaki. So he is looking to come in to record the save. He is the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Lions. You pitched in last night's ball game, so we'll see how this all plays out. So Iwaki on to close it out here. Slated to face Kobayashi, Noguchi, and the top of the order in Watanabe. We'll see if there's anything up the sleeves of the Buffalo managers, or manager, if he's got anything that he wants to put out onto the hill. So Iwaki, his job is to throw strikes, keep runners off the base paths, try to limit the damage here. So the first pitch coming up to Kobayashi. On its way, there is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is quickly 1-0 to him. Kobayashi tonight is officially 1 for 2. He's got a double and 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk. He has brought his average up to 235. Here's the 1-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses way upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. Now, what you want from your left-hander right now, you want him to be able to come in and throw strikes. So you got 2 balls and no strikes as the right-hander Kobayashi waits. Pitches on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Could be trouble. Backing up and watching it sail into the seats. A solo shot off the bat of Kobayashi, and he has cut the lead to 4-3 as he rounds the bases. The Buffaloes here still have outs to play with. Kobayashi rounds. He scores the run. 4-3 now for the Lions. And it is going to bring up to the plate Tomoya Noguchi. So Noguchi coming to the dish with the score line now 4-3 for the Lions. Milwaukee gets a new baseball. We're ready to go back at it again. And it is Noguchi at the plate against Iwaki. So here comes the first offering as the pitch is on the way. It's a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. Noguchi tonight is officially 1 for 3. He's got a double in 3 trips. He has struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice as the lefty Iwaki holds to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Another breaking ball missing way upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. And now the shortstop has come in to have a word with the lefty here. They are on the phone to the bullpen. Sosuke Genda has come in defensively here late in the ball game. He came in the spot of Alexander Canario when Canario left the ball game. Here's the 2-0 fastball center cut. Count is quickly 2-1 to Noguchi. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Noguchi. So I think it was a double switch. It was Nishikawa came in the 8th spot in the batting order for Kazunori Ishii. They moved Takazawa from short to second. Genda came in to play short here late in the ball game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Iwaki delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Noguchi in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 away. It'll bring up the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe. And for Watanabe, well, he has officially 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out 3 times, and he has walked in his 4 trips to the plate. So whatever you can do to try to get a runner on here, the tying run at the plate. He's got wheels. So Iwaki works himself to the set. Here comes the first pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Only 2 outs left to play with, do the Buffaloes have. Here's the 1-0. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 2-0. This is definitely a player you want to keep off the base pass. Watanabe can run a little bit. He can run a lot. And you get him on board, and then got some big bats in the order coming up here. And I don't think you really want to get to Tomoya Mori with runners on. Because I can tell you he wants to do some serious damage. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. As Iwaki delivers, fastball misses down and away. It's now 3-0. Having a hard time throwing strikes. Not a good thing. Not a good thing for the lefty. So 3 balls and no strikes to Watanabe. On deck is Ryoma Nishikawa. And then Tomoya Mori. I guess if you're a Lions fan, I don't think you want to see them, but how much drama would that be? Center cut fastball for a called strike, and the count's now 3-1 to Watanabe. And back to it we go. His game, as we said, has not had a very good pace to it tonight. 3.5 hours. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul, and now the count runs full to Watanabe. We were talking about the Lions being retired in order tonight, and it's only happened 3 times. As far as the Buffaloes are concerned, well, you've gone down in order twice in the ball game for them. Here comes the 3-2, and a lot of them will take place with 2 outs. Fastball swung on. This is sliced down the left field line, but it's going to be into the netting, foul. Count remains at 3-2 to Watanabe. I think if I was playing Watanabe defensively in the outfield, I would have my left fielder shaded in and toward the line. He does like to slap the ball and go the other way with it. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. As again, the lefty works himself to the set position. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, so Watanabe stays alive. It's going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to the center fielder of the Buffaloes. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Watanabe again digs himself back in. As he waits on the pitch here from the left-hander Iwaki. And now he steps off the backside of the rubber, and we're going to cycle through the signage all over again. Here's the pitch. Another fastball swung on, and another one lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. And this at-bat is going to continue. 7 pitches now deep into the at-bat. Be pitch number 8 coming up here for Iwaki. He's really had to work. 15 pitches so far for the 3 batters that he's had to face. It's not been an easy night. Lefty gets a sign, and now he works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch to Watanabe. Breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4. He's lost him as Watanabe is going to be aboard. 9-pitch at bat. And he is a very dangerous runner. You've got to keep your eye on him for certain. And now the catcher, Koga, is coming out to talk to his lefty. So Watanabe, the runner over at first, it brings Ryoma Nishikawa to the plate. And for Nishikawa, he is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single. He scored a run. He's bounced into a fielder's choice. He has flown to center, and he has walked. So this brings Nishikawa to the dish. Batting .279 now on the season. Slight uptick from when the game had started. Hardest outs to get are the 3 outs in the 9th inning when you're got a slight lead. Here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away. I'm not sure where that pitch was. We're back to the first inning follies of the home plate umpire, it looks like. So 1 ball and no strikes it is. Lions players on the bench looking on as they are quite relaxed. Of course, they are either out of the game or the DH. Nevin, not really that worried. There's a breaking ball missing down. It's now 2-0 to Nishikawa. You certainly don't want to put Watanabe into scoring position. I don't know if there's any action going on in the Lions bullpen. So 2 balls and no strikes to Nishikawa as the lefty holds to the set position. Here's the pitch. There is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1 on Nishikawa. Top of the 9th inning, 1 gone here. Lions enjoying a 4-2 lead. Sorry, a 4-3 lead. The home run by Kobayashi that has cut it to 1. As Nishikawa waits on the pitch here from Iwaki. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. Oh, boy. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Iwaki looking to put away Nishikawa. And then he's got the tough one of Tomoya Mori waiting on deck. So Buffalo's running it outs. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way, swung on, grounded over to short. Genda goes to second for 1, back to first, not in time. But that is a good thing for the Buffaloes. They're able to get Watanabe off of the base paths. It's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4. Safe at first is Nishikawa. It is going to bring Tomoya Mori to the plate. So 2 gone now here in the inning, and the Buffaloes now down to their final out. So Mori coming to the dish. He is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He homered in the first. He struck out. He has flown out, and he has walked. So he bats from the left side here. That's the left-handed throwing Iwaki. As Iwaki holds to the set position, here comes the pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Iwaki holds to the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Mori. Buffalo's down to their final out. Iwaki leading in, getting the sign. Here comes the pitch to Mori. He kicks and fires. Fastball down. Good stop by Koga. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. A 4-3 lead here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 balls and a strike to Mori. Manager for the Buffaloes is chomping on the gum like you wouldn't believe. Here comes the 2-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And now Buffaloes are down to their final strike. And Mori tried to put the Buffaloes in the lead with that 1 swing of the bat. You don't want to make a mistake over the plate. Here comes the 2-2. Iwaki leans in, gets the sign. Odds in agreement as he works himself into the set. Here comes the 2-2 to Mori. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that is Nishikawa, who has picked it up and fired it back in. Stopping at second is Ryoma Nishikawa. So Mori keeps it alive with a single. That's going to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate. So the Buffaloes still have something brewing here. Nakagawa tonight is 1 for 4. He's got a single in 4 trips. He's flown out twice and grounded out once. So the Buffaloes still trying to get that other run across the plate. It's a good piece of hitting there by Mori. Unfortunately for Mori, Would have been better off hitting the ball into one of the gap areas that might have been able to get the base runner all the way around to third. Once you get to third, there's all kinds of ways you can score. So we'll see how this one plays out here. Final in, the Eagles held on to beat the Marines 8-5. Hawks enjoying a 6-5 lead in the bottom of the sixth against the Fighters. As now Iwaki steps off the backside of the rubber, goes to the rosin bag. What do we have here? Do we get a balk or not? What just happened here? It looks like we may have had a balk. Yep, all the runners have moved up 90 feet. Yep, there you go. That's what we have it. So Nishikawa is the runner at third. Over at second is Mori. They have the open base at first, so the force is no longer in the equation. Oh, boy. And then Nakagawa at the plate here. So what it was is Iwaki had moved his throwing arm. It looked like he wanted to maybe have the catcher cycle through the signs again, but now everybody's up 90 feet. Here comes the first pitch to Nakagawa. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Well, that's what I said. You don't want to get the runner to third, because if you get the runner to third, there's all kinds of ways that they can score. Pass ball, wild pitch, balk, you name it. So here comes the 0-1 offering to Nakagawa. Again, they're down to their final out are the Buffaloes. As the 0-1 is on the way, it's a fastball that misses way outside. Actually, Koga thought about backpicking down to third base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Can you imagine if that's the way the game ended, on a backpick? Oh, boy. I wouldn't think that the veteran Nishikawa would be as foolish to get picked on the backside. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakagawa as the lefty Iwaki works himself into the set position. He checks the runner over at second. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Nakagawa. So this is second match point, so to speak. It's the second time that the Buffaloes have been down to their final strike. And if I am the pitcher here, this is where you want to dip into your arsenal and take something off the pitch. Nakagawa tried to deposit a 3-run shot into the seats. Lions fans are looking for some divine intervention. They are praying to the Buddhas. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Ooh, breaking ball down. Great stop there by Koga. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to Nakagawa. So Iwaki ready to go back to work again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty leaning in, getting a sign from his catcher, Koga. Works himself into the set position. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in, and now it's going to run the count full to Nakagawa. Oh, boy. They have the base open. It is Yumamune who is waiting his turn on deck. So if you come in here at the right time, glad you guys could make it in tonight. But boy, oh boy, we have ourselves a doozy here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Iwaki looking to close it out. Nakagawa looking to blow it open. Can we go to the bottom of the 9th? Well, we're about to find out. Iwaki shakes off the signal from his catcher. Now he nods in agreement. And here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and grounded, foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 3-2. A win tonight for the Lions will put them into first place, a half game over top of the Buffaloes. But keep it in mind, the Buffaloes have a couple of games in hand. So here comes the 3-2 as the Buffaloes brass are looking on. Nakagawa ready to get the pitch here from Iwaki as he works himself into the set position. 3-2 on the way. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, and it is lifted foul into the seats on the first base side. I'm not so sure that that was the location that he wanted. They were coming inside on that one. They had set him up. Like it was more of a hard slider type piece. 3-2 it remains. So we'll do it all over again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nakagawa trying to win the battle here, as they are down to their final out and their final strike. Here comes the pitch. Iwaki holds set. Now he fires. Breaking ball swung on, and another one lifted foul. And the battle continues. It still remains at 3-2. 35 pitches here in the inning for Iwaki. Coming off a night where he had pitched last night to finish off the ball game. So we'll do it all over again. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Runners at second and third, 2 gone here. You got to wonder if Iwaki's got anything left. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is the second baseman, Takazawa. He's going to catch it and put it away. And the Lions are going to vault themselves into first place in the Pacific League with a 4-3 victory over the Orix Buffaloes. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back to wrap this one up for you in just a couple of moments. Your final score, it is the Lions 4, the Buffaloes 3. We'll be back in just a few.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this baby up for you, and we'll call it a night. Scoring got going in the first inning. The Buffaloes with 2 out. Tomoya Mori, the former Lion, hit a solo shot to make it 1-0, giving the Buffaloes the lead. Lions answered right back at the bottom of the first. Alexander Canario on the first pitch he saw deposited a solo shot into the seats, evening the score at 1. Etsuo Takazawa then singled. So did Seiya Watanabe. And then up stepped Tyler Nevin, and he delivered a sacrifice fly to bring home Takazawa to give the Lions a 2-1 lead. Buffaloes answered back in the 6th inning, a leadoff single by Nishikawa. With 1 out, a single by Nakagawa, and a hit batter of Mune loaded the bases. And Ryoto Kita hit a sacrifice fly to left field to bring home the tying run. But the Buffaloes regained the advantage in the 6th. with 2 out at Wauktokoga and a 2-run shot again off the bat of Alexander Canario made the scoreline 4-2. Buffaloes tried to bring it back in the 9th inning. It was a solo shot off the bat of Kotaro Kobayashi that cut the gap to 1 at 4-3. But unfortunately, they weren't able, if you were a Buffaloes fan, to be able to cash in and get another run. Your final score in this one, it is the Lions 4 and the Buffaloes 3. Other scores from around the NPB, we'll give you those ones quickly, and then we're going to sign off for the night. Games in the Pacific League, 6-6 now at the top of the 7th between the Hawks and the Fighters. 8-5 was your final between the Eagles and the Marines. Eagles win that one, able to hold on tonight. Over in the Central League, all games are in the 9th inning. Top of the 9th inning, it's 5-3 for the Carp over the Dragons. Tonight, it is 1-0 for the Bay Stars over the Swallows. That's in the top of the 9th inning. And also in the top of the 9th inning, the Tigers have a 6-3 lead over the Giants. That is at the Tokyo Dome in that one there. All right, everybody, we appreciate you for listening in again on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Come on back and see us again. Interleague play starts this week, and we're going to be around for it for you. So have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again soon.